Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Mortys, non-Mortys, Marvel Strike Force lovers of all sorts. My name is Vac, and we're here for an evening live stream. This is Mortytown TV, the Mortytown Locos being my Marvel Strike Force alliance, obviously. Or maybe not, obviously. I don't know. But we're going to sit down and basically play through, all of the moves that I can make tonight. We got no war today. But we got some raids to do. We finished up DD3 this morning, but there's some stuff that we can do, and you guys are welcome to ride along. This is just my normal evening play session. I'll be back again tomorrow morning, most likely. I'll be playing one way or the other, but hopefully I'll be streaming. Sometimes I gotta just kind of play on the go and do it off my phone. But if I can, I like to get up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, and just play right here at home, where it's no trouble at all to stream. I'm looking into learning the skills that I'm going to need to make short form content videos, and we'll be getting prepared to do new character videos and shit like that. So let's see here. Let me just pull up a link, and I'm just gonna put a little shout out real quick on Discord. There we go. So, almost there, almost ready. Once we get rolling, we'll be moving at a fairly brisk pace. All right. Hello and welcome. I shouldn't say that. So anyway, here we go. Mortytown TV. We got 190 energy on the line because I just picked up my free energy from a few hours ago, and we got some more free energy coming in 7 minutes. So let's see what kind of damage we can do in moving this account forward, shall we? If you're new here, my name's Vac. I run the Mortytown Locos. I'm a 10 million collection power player in Marvel Strike Force. Chances are, jumping into the stream this early, you're probably one of my guys, and you know that. But you never know. I didn't get to play Arena today. I was actually in a position where I probably could have, and I was just distracted and lost track of the time. That's what I hate about the alarm clock or sniping nature of Arena now. It's fun. I sure want the cores, but so okay, 12 p.m. Pacific time, 6/9. So that's tomorrow. Is that like midnight Pacific? That's midnight Pacific, isn't it? That's 12 a.m. So noon tomorrow. All right. Let's see now. Got ourselves a gold orb. Always need gold. And more ultimate shards out of ultimate orbs, which just lead to more ultimate orbs. And, yep, I don't need none of that. Nah. I don't even know why I bother opening them. I don't even know why I bother. Thought so. Did y'all hear that? Sounded like a mic keying up a second ago. I left my radio on from work. So, let's go over there and turn that off. We're very shortly going to be privy to the operations of the assembly plant. So, I'm going to go kill that real quick. There we go. Because right now, it's after 9 o'clock, so, well, it's just about 9 o'clock, so I'm off duty. And it's time for Skilled and Reds to go in there and paint cars, because I'm done. So, if you didn't know, we all work together. So, World Warrior, Nate whooping me in the World Warrior. I miss seeing Red Top at the top here. I keep saying that. I'm always going to miss Red Top. I mean, I don't really miss Red Top. I'm still talking to Red Top about every day, but you know what I mean. It's the nature of gaming, man. You start playing something with your friends, and you all kind of decide to, usually people start moving on at different times, Everybody reaches their burnout or breaking point at different periods. It happens to us all the time. I could not count the number of games that I have played with Red Tar and Panzone and Twerp and all these guys. I'm in and out for years. And, some of you Mortys are pretty badass, and I'm taking you with me when I leave this game. Which, don't worry, no time soon. I'm having a good time here. I'm going to hang around, see how the PvP goes, let this stream play out, see if people like it. And I think I got all the equipment now, so I'll probably keep streaming even if I move to a new game. Oh, good. I needed those training materials. That's good. I see no reason that I would stop doing that, but don't worry. I'm not going to jump to League of Legends or some shit like that. Not happening. I'm pretty solidly playing Marvel Strike Force right now. I do occasionally put an odd hour into playing a different game. Usually just something kind of whimsical, lighthearted, nothing that's too meaty that is going to demand my time. Certainly nothing like a mobile game like this that puts compulsory, nothing's compulsory. We never care if a guy takes a day off, but it's kind of, if you want to do right by the people you're playing with, then you log in every day and you get your shit done, right? I mean, it's just kind of a social contract we all have with each other. So I would never play another game like that on the side, but I'm not playing with Red because he's a little more advanced than me, but I've been messing around with Terraria and stuff like that. And I like to occasionally dabble in some strategy gaming. I'm a big fan of, as I've talked about with Curly a few times, I'm a big fan of Total War in general. And then I was already a big Warhammer fan. So when Total War started doing Warhammer, that was my jam right there, son. And I still play Total War Warhammer 2 a lot to this day. I like to do a playthrough. I largely play dwarves, but I've dabbled around with most of the factions. Dwarves will always be my favorite. There's no V in Warhammer. In Warhammer, it's dwarf and dwarfs. My buddy Critch used to just hammer that into me all the time. So, let's see here. No, we don't want that. We want orbs. More training materials. I don't really need any of those characters. I will take those catalysts, man. Catalysts. Oh, I'll definitely take these. I don't think I need these. And nah, I'll pass. So, don't need any of those characters, but I'll take those. If I have do I have the tokens? I do not. I don't have the tickets. Need to have us another war. We're on our second day off, like Sunday and Monday are our days off from war. Or at least that's like our weekend from war. It's our 2 days in a row. So let's see here. Who's available? Iron Fist, not terrible. Doctor Strange, not a bad pick. Cyclops, Storm, these are all decent picks, man. All right, so if I'm not doing... Didn't I do this yesterday? Let me check again, because I don't remember now. If I'm not going to do... Oh, wait, wrong one. If I'm not going to do... Ebony Maw, which I can't, right? Ebony Maw is who I'd really like to promote from 4 stars right now. But I'd really like to get one more 7 red star here, so that I could say I got a full page of 7 red star characters. That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty sweet. So let's see here. Yeah, maybe I can make a video on that. Who knows? Going down to the 4s. Just way down there. I'm pretty sure it's at the bottom. Let's go all the way to the bottom. Here we go. So these are all my 4s. I don't have anybody at 3 or 2 or 1 or any of that crap. Who would be most... I mean, Deadpool's a thought, because we're about to get the X-Force. Could do Deadpool and Cable, really. But I think I can probably find a better... I don't think Taskmaster's going to pop up. Sif is really not on my radar for this. Ebony Maw or Cull is kind of who I'd like to do. Colossus would be a decent choice. Iron Fist wouldn't be terrible. Sif's on a better team, but she pretty well tanks good enough. I'm thinking Carnage. Out of everybody I'm looking at here, I'm about to take Carnage to Gear Tier 14, and I'm going to use him in the city section of Dark Dimension 3. And so, the plan is I can't think of any city characters I'd rather take in there than the 3 symbiotes. So that's definitely where we were going. So, yeah, I'm gonna buy a 5th star on him when it pops up. Basically, okay. So I got to remember that. I'm gonna make a note of that. Carnage. Carnage is who I'm looking for. So back to the store. Pretty sure Carnage was not on that list, obviously, right? But we're gonna give her one refresh and just see if we get lucky. We did not. That's the nature of the game. So, in fact, we only got 2 possible 5-star upgrades, and I'm not. I mean, Storm wouldn't be terrible, but no. And Hydra Sniper, no freaking way. So yeah, I got to catch my other symbiotes up to Venom, who is a 6 red star. So that's going to be it for that. Welcome to the people coming in. You probably know me already, but my name's Vac. I run the Mortytown Locos, and I love Marvel Strike Force. I kind of hate it sometimes too, but like any good relationship, that's how it works. I don't think I need Blitz right now. Certainly don't. I do not need Punisher. So there's our 9 o'clock energy, or 9 o'clock my time. I'm on Eastern Standard. So let's see now. What's going to be necessary? I never did finish Arena, so we're going to have to, just to get daily credit, we're going to have to do one more of those. Let's see, I think I finished 8, so I got somebody knocked me down during the course of the day. I wished I had thought to log in. It just slipped my mind, So that cost me a couple dollars, I lost a few hundred cores out of that. But not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. So let's see who's floating around out here in my arena shard. There's my buddy Native. As you can see, most of the people toward the top these days are sporting a Maw. I'm not on that bandwagon. I am 100% not on that bandwagon. But it's not like these teams are bad. So I think I'm going to pick on this one. We'll see how it goes. I haven't fought one with Sue in a while. The combination of Sue and Maw I actually have never seen. Might be a little heavy on the defense. If I get lucky and kill 1 or 2 of their DPS right off the bat, this isn't going to go well for them. But we'll see. We'll see. So I want to kill that Black Bolt as fast as I can. Oh man, that Maw is squishy though. Okay, let's take away all those debuffs, put them on her, and then we'll see who they clone. Clone a bot. Clone a bot. Ooh. That's not good. That's not good. I think we're still fine, but we'll see how it goes. So I need to clone. I'm not going to clone her. The clone. I'm going to clone the original. This is a 4 Phoenix fight, huh? How about that? You don't see those every day. You really don't. Alright, so it's all about whose phoenixes are going to come out on top here. The first thing I'm going to do is take away their healer. Well, one of their healers. And get that other one when I get him out of stealth. And he's supposed to heal her like after she... Alright, never mind. Never mind. So, let's see here. Man, I really don't want to attack her. Somebody come out of stealth. Alright, I'm gonna hit her with kid gloves and just knock off that defense up. And then she's probably going to die now. There's nothing I can do about it, but I'm dropping this hammer with Black Bolt. And there she goes. So now we got to ignore Black Bolt, and we got to go right on her. But she's a clone, so she's not. It's not hard to kill her, right? I mean, unless you have a Sinister like I got a Sinister, then those clones, man, they're just squishy. They just don't hold up. They don't hold up against good characters for sure. I'm torn. Do I go after Black Bolt or Maul? I'm going right after Black Bolt. Oh, come on. Somebody take that defense up off of him. There we go. Hopefully I can kill him off before he does that. No, too late. But that didn't really hurt that bad. I mean, it sucks that I lost Ultron. Alright, since he's about kind of blown his load on that, I'm going after Maw. I think he's going to go down easy. Yep. And then we'll get back on Black Bolt. Because I'm just kind of ignoring Sue. I just don't think she's effective, right? But I don't think she's effective enough to really matter that much in this 5v5. Of course, I do want to take her down before I pop that Dark Phoenix. So we're going to do that. And then we can face the Phoenix alone, and I've still got both my Phoenixes, and you know, so this is a pretty easy win. Pretty easy win. I mean, there's not really any of these guys I would say is difficult for me to beat. The problem is they can beat my defense too. So it's just a matter of sniping. I might come back here in a little while and bump myself to 2. I don't like sitting at number 1. I want to sit at 2. Lucky seems to like it. He does it a lot. But I'm going to come back later and whoop Unclouded's butt. Because, man, I mean, he must spend a lot of cores. Or maybe not. Maybe, you know, it's a beefy team, 430K, right? That's a pretty good Black Order team. I ain't saying it isn't. But it's like, mine's better, and I wouldn't put it out there. When I put it out there, I get beat, man. I drop down the rankings. It's too much hassle, man. I don't want to spend 5 energy a day trying to get myself back in the top 10, you know, and struggle and claw. I don't think I've ever seen the guy end at number 1. I see him at number 1 occasionally, but he ain't never number 1 when time comes to get the cores. I ain't seen that yet. Man, I mean, I'm sure that team is pretty nice in offense, but I just don't think that's the best choice for defense. I beat that team with regularity and without issue. I think yesterday they gave me more problem than ever, and it still wasn't that hard to win. Alright, so let's see, what supplies are we getting here? Oh, that's right, my badass Wolverine shards. Quit lying to me, game. You put a red dot on something, I click it. I'm conditioned at this point. I'm like Pavlov's dog. Every time I go to Target, I'm just running around, clicking it. Alright. So I hope everybody out there is doing okay, well and prospering, that sort of thing, outside of your Marvel Strike Force life. And if you have any questions, I mean specifically about myself or the roster, or just the game in general, you know, feel free. Alright, so yeah, let's spend our energy real fast. Let me see who's texting me. over here, phone. Oh, okay. So, here we go. Probably Corvus. I'm going to get him to 14. Might be our best bet. And we, I don't think we're going to be able to do it necessarily right now, but we do need to work on getting skill gear for him. That's really one of the only origin gears that I need right now. All right, I'm not putting any more cores in it though. Wait a minute, is there something else in there I can farm? What about them? I need more of those. Yeah, there we go. All right. Looking good. That's done. Moving right along. About all the damage I'm going to do. I don't get no Phoenix event. Let's see if there are any Phoenix offers that I might want to, if they even put any on my radar. No. Fuck yes. Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. This is where we, as OMG would say, we wail harder. We're gonna wail harder right now. Because 240 T4 ability mats. Yes, please. Yes. I got super Krakens to catch. All right, let's see. Yeah, I like to do the 7-day ones, man. $5, that's good. I could use that gold. I usually like to get the calendar ones, unless it's something I really just don't need, like tier 2 gear or some shit like that. But 100K a day, I'll take that. Don't really like. It was a time, man. I'd have bought that, man, for $3, 20 catalysts. But I'm at the point now where I'm past them now. It's just the tier 4 stuff that I'm really hurting on. Red Star bundles. Who wants to open some Red Star orbs? This is where I kind of wail out. Like, I have bought probably maybe 85 to 90% of every Red Star offer that's come across. Which the only ones that I didn't, that 5 to 10% that I didn't, were in the period after we kind of realized just how inefficient they were. When I started realizing that I was just getting jack all nothing out of them, I quit buying them. But I went back to buying them after they changed the format and added in elite orbs, because then that changed the game, right? And then I sort of slacked off again because I still mostly pull dupes even out of elite orbs, and I was making progress obviously because they changed the system, but I wasn't making like fast progress, so I quit buying them again. And then they changed it again. Maybe they're just watching me, right? I don't know. But then they changed it again, and they added the outer wings, where you get 3 things come down out of the orb. And so then it's it's still the same system, but a little faster rate of advancement. And you're guaranteed to get an elite 4 for every 20 orbs you open, and you're going to guarantee to get elite 5 for every 20 elite 4s you open. So that's a guaranteed system that's a little less RNG that I can live with. So I've been buying them since. If a week comes along that I'm feeling a little tight on the budget, then I just won't buy them. It's not a big deal. But I would like to get that 10th 7-star character. There are 7 Red Star characters. You know, don't hate me. I'm just trying to have some fun. I'm gonna pass on that one. Alright, War Consumables Bundle. You know what? I'm buying that. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I know there's shit in the War Store right now that I need, and I don't have the tickets to buy it. So I'm basically buying this. Not for the recharges, because I got the Blitz credits to buy those. I'm buying this for the War credits. This is essentially for 20 bucks. I'm putting myself about 2 wars ahead. And, you know, over time, that adds up. I'm down with that. But that's probably going to wrap us up. We'll save that mixed energy bundle for the morning. This Red Star pack right here, this one right here, don't ever buy that. I mean, I have splurged a time or two when I was just like a little short of an elite. I went ahead and I bought them to try to get me over the edge. But even then, I feel kind of dirty. Like, that's not a great exchange rate. That's, you know, 2 orbs for 900 cores. Like, no. I would not in general do that. I'm going to pass on the gold orb offer for now. I mean, I might, if I get in a crunch tomorrow, maybe. But so that gives us 10 orbs to open, which, you know, chances are we're not going to get diddly out of. But we might get enough to get an Elite 4, which, you know, we still probably won't get diddly out of. But there's a chance. And it'll get a little closer to that Elite 5, which has a much better chance of giving us what we want. So here we go. Just going to roll through them pretty quickly here. Doop, 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 doop. Basically, if it's not at least purple, I know it's a dupe. So I just sort of roll through them. Because, I mean, I know it's kind of fun to watch people open ores, but not if I'm not getting nothing, right? Like, it's more excitement to get that jackpot moment, right? That's what everybody's after. That's what we're chasing. A little shot of endorphin to the brain. Everybody, oh, look at that. I mean, I got him a 7. That's a dupe. But still, that's a lot of dupe. That's 3,750 Elite 4 shards, which means we are, in fact, getting almost 2 Elite 4s. We've got a possibility of getting 2 at this point. We're close. I mean, here, oh, shit, we might be going back and get that Red Star offer. Yeah, we might. Just a couple of more orbs might get us 1,100. Shit, okay, I just gave you this advice, and now I'm going to break it. So, you know, unless you're a middle-aged old shit like me with some disposable income, don't do this. All right? Don't do this. And by the way, anybody who calls me a fucking boomer in the chat, which I see you guys doing to OMG all the time, I'll boot you, because I'm not a damn boomer. I'm Gen X. 45 years old. I was born in 1974. I grew up in the fucking 90s when shit rocked right before we got the internet, and really we even had proto-internet. You know, we had cool shit like MapQuest and stuff like that, but we didn't have social media. And anyway, don't get me started. I didn't even see that Superior Ore draft before. We're gonna go down here. We're gonna grab a few of these. And hope that this puts us over. Well, I'm pretty sure it will. I'm going to go ahead and pick them all up. And that should put us over the edge on getting ourselves 2 Elite 4s, which I am hopeful will push us on to an Elite 5. I need a better pull than that, though, or I'm not even going to get 2 Elite 4s. I need more pulls. Come on, give me something good. Nah, man. This is bad. This is bad. If I end up shy, I'm going to cry. That's better. There we go. We're going to make it. We're going to make it fine. Welcome to those of you just coming in. If you're new here, my name is Vac. We're playing Marvel Strike Force. The Mortytown TV, if you're just like a random person who loves Rick and Morty, that's our guild name in Marvel Strike Force. When we formed the guild, we felt like going with a Marvel name was a little too on the nose. So we went with a property that we thought, well, you know what? If anybody sees this name and thinks it's cool, they're cool enough to be in this guild. If you see my name and you don't like my name, Mortytown, if Mortytown Locos doesn't appeal to you, yeah, I probably don't like you, you know? So move the fuck along, right? But to those in the stream, we're cool. Come on in. You're probably Mortys anyway, but just in case. So I am a pretty in-game player, you know, in this game. I've been playing for 2 years now. What are we getting? This is going to be another 4. We've already got that guy at 7. But that did push us over, and now we're going to get at least 1. We're probably just going to get 1 Elite 5. But this ought to give us some more to get us started on the next one. Or who knows, maybe we'll pull something good out of this next one. Time to find out. That's probably not going to be nothing. Yeah, I already got him at 4. So that's just some more shards, but still, it puts us 1,000 in toward the next Elite 5. And Elite 5s, man, I pulled a lot of good pulls out of Elite 5s. That's where you get the good shit. So, speaking of which, cross your fingers. All right, everybody, try to send some luck my way. Okay, let's see how we do. Elite 5, be good to me. Nah, it's not that great. It was an upgrade. Don't get me wrong. I was thinking about buying that guy at 5 earlier, so I'm glad I didn't do that. You know, Carnage is definitely going to be a better choice. But that's a little bump up to my defenders. Not the best team I'm sporting, but they see action, right? So that's helpful. So I can't complain about that. And we're 3,650 shards toward an Elite 6, which is just a whole nother ball game. You know you're getting a gold orb out of that fucker. You know you're going to get a 6 or a 7, and there's no way that isn't great. I've actually pulled a couple of dupe 6s before, and as you'll see down here, I mean, I've pulled a dupe 6 before, and so I've got 700 Elite 7 shards, which I have no idea when it is that I'll be able to open that. But the nice thing is that it doesn't cost 5,000 like the others. It only costs 2,500, so we're really closer than it looks. And man, an Elite 7, how freaking sweet would that be? I mean, I haven't got a chance to open one yet. 2 years, that's really all I've been able to accumulate, but we're working on it. And the more dupes I get and the higher my roster gets in red stars, the more likely we're going to march on to that goal. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see what my next 7 red stars is going to be. Hopefully somebody good. Yeah, but who knows? So let's go ahead and give Iron Fist his promotion. And that's an 8,000 point promotion. That was a nice jump. That was sweet. Can't complain about that at all. So, I mean, since this is usually the guy people want to focus first, either him or JJ, it's nice to have him at that ballin' ass level, you know. So we'll call that a win. On the whole, we'll just call that a win. I definitely have some T4s to spend. I'm not real sure where to put them right now. I'm going to do some research on that and come back around to that later. I have to be careful where I put that shit. I only get so many, and I just spent like $60 on what I got right now. So I'm going to really look into where I should be putting those. It's a very real possibility I can come back around here and put it in a mall. I don't necessarily know resistance is the biggest thing I'm after, but we're going to look into it. So moving on, we still have energy. No, or did we spend all the energy? We spent all the energy. Okay, we're done. We're done with that. So moving on. See, you're lying to me, game. I'm so conditioned. I'm like fucking Pavlov's dog, man. I see that red dot, I click it. It's a lion-ass game. So anyway, no DD. So I guess really that just leaves, I mean, I could do a blitz rotation, but I'm not gonna. Unless there's a specific team that y'all want to shout out that you want to see in blitz, which I can give up to 8-3 pretty quick, I guess, if I really wanted to. Then I'll be glad to do that. But otherwise, like, I don't need Frank Castle shards. Like, I have not needed them for over a year now. So I really don't care about that blitz. Blitz as a mode has really lost its shine with me as an in-game player. It used to be what I would do in between everything else, right? You know, you get done with your energy, you do your raids, you got a few hours before you get any more free energy. What do? You fucking blitz. That's what you do if you want to be successful as a new to mid-game player in this game. But now I'm at the point where if it ain't a new character, I don't need to do that blitz. This is one blitz a week I do, and that's that red star blitz, and that's it. You know, I mean, I was hopeful that it would be. I thought it was going to be. I mean, I'm real bad about looking at the information coming from the devs. I'm not in the Envoy program. I only started streaming a few days ago. I don't talk to Fox Next. The server shit don't work for them, and I get no informational packets from them. So I'm not the guy that's in the loop on what's coming down the pipe. I don't even really necessarily read the dev blogs that closely. I would really suggest going to Casino for that kind of thing. But if you want to see some high-end content with a 10 million collection power team, you know, then that's me. That's me. You know, and maybe I have some wisdom to impart about the game, possibly about life. But mostly we're just here having a good time. So you see, I did it again. Good Lord, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. It's like I'm a robot. So, okay. Koza got Phoenix too, man. Sloth's putting in work. So, raids it is. It looks like we're on to raids. Let me get back so set up to do this concurrently. So what are we looking at? We got we're halfway through Alt 7, and we have 20. We just started a game before earlier while I was at work. So let's see, what have I got? I got more energy for Alt 7, so let's go ahead and do that right now. And also those nodes tend to take a little longer to get through, and that'll give us some time to build up more energy for the Greek raid. So let me just go on and get them started. I think I'm still set up for a team that here we go, a team that was suggested to me by Spawn, a guy in my alliance. And it's a pretty effective team. I'm not sold yet that it's better than the one I had. And you know, he and I may have different benchmarks that we're looking to meet in a U7 team. Like, I'm streaming and I have another account going on over here and I got all this shit going on, and I want something that I can just hit autoplay and forget about and let it do that while I, you know, fix a drink or, you know, go to the bathroom or stream or what, you know, engage with chat, what have you. I'm high enough in the game now that most of these game modes I approach with a very hands-off kind of strategy. So let's see here. I'm going to start off with a taunt, and I'm going to start him off with the defense up, and then I think from there I'm going to let him roll on autoplay. So away we go. And that lets me go over here and I apologize. I would very much like to show you what I'm doing off screen, but I'm fairly certain it's a violation of terms of service, so I'm not doing that on the screen. In reality, and if any authorities come and confront me on this, I'm going to deny it. But in reality, I started playing this game with my brother. I founded this alliance with my brother, and he quit playing. It really, honestly, like the circumstances at the start of COVID-19 forced him to, you know, it gave him very much less playtime available, and he pretty much just let the game go, you know, kind of once you get off that train and you're kind of out of the habit, and it's hard to get back in it. So for the good of the alliance, I've been picking up the slack on his account ever since, because COVID-19 gave me more free time, right? So it was like, well, I'll jump in and help out, and who knows, maybe one day he'll get tired of whatever the hell he's messing around with now, and he'll come play. I don't know. More than likely not, and that's okay. Everybody gets burnt out, like I say, at different times. I started this game with a bunch of friends and family, that most of which are gone now. Like, I had all the original Mortys. It's basically me and Twerpy are the two that are left. But we got a lot of really great guys in this guild, some of whom have come along recently, some of whom have been with us for almost 2 years. And, you know, that's really what it's all about. I don't always have to be playing with people that I'm intimately familiar with. I like meeting new players and sussing out good gamers just by mingling with the community. And, you know, and we've pretty much been approaching this this alliance very much like a sports team, right? Like there's a lot of coaching going on, and there's occasionally cuts, right? But for the most part, we've had a fairly cohesive group. I maybe do have some problem children that if a better option came along, I might look at. But for the most part, we're in pretty good shape right now. Now, what I would like to do is recruit some Mortys to take over some of these redundant accounts that we have. There's one redundant account in particular that I think we need to find a home for pretty fast. And then I would like to find somebody where I can just, like if my brother doesn't want to play this anymore, I mean, it's a little bit of a strain on me at this point. I'm having fun keeping it up, and it's actually pretty enlightening for me to play a free-to-play account so that I have some idea of what I'm talking about when I give free-to-play players advice. But still, it would be better for me to get a good, honest-to-God Morty in here to hold down that slot and do those jobs, and let me kind of let that go and just focus more on back and what I'm doing around here. I'm streaming, and my next big project is I'm going to buy Photoshop and start kind of teaching myself how to use that so I can make thumbnails and shit like that. I need to learn overlays. I need to figure out how to make this streaming space look cooler, that kind of thing. And I'm perfectly capable of all that over time. I'm not necessarily a slow learner. I'm just pretty packed for time right now. I'm also holding down an 8-hour-a-day job. No stream from Casino today. He's on a mystery project. Mystery project? How mysterious. So, let me get Baxos back in the mix here. We should probably be attacking Iron Fist, or maybe Carnage. Carnage for sure. And this team is rolling along pretty good on Fire and Forget. And they do a little more damage. I don't know about that. Maybe it seems like it's about the same. It's essentially 2 offensive characters and 3 defensive characters. Just a different mix-up from what I was using. So, I need something good to throw at U7 with Bax. What does he got here? Yeah, that'll work. Alright, and now it's a boss fight time. Who needs healing? It doesn't matter. Alright. Yeah, my only regret in my whole Marvel Strike Force time is that I didn't start earlier. I was not a beta player. I actually even wasn't a release player. I think I saw a commercial the week it released and started playing the week after that. So I'm not really, I'm not like a founding player or anything like that. I've just been trying to spend money almost daily. Not a lot of money, just a little bit, very efficiently. Trying to catch up, I haven't caught up to the super whales, obviously, but I'm swimming in deep waters. I realized that I was probably making it pretty good in this game when I passed up Casino on TCP, because that guy's been a guy I've looked up to all the time. I mean, I still get most of my information about the game from his Discord channel and the like, and all the props in the world to that guy. I wouldn't be here today if not for him. I don't know where I'd be, but probably wouldn't be that different, really. I mean, it's not like I'd be off playing My Little Pony, but I'd be playing some other cool game. But I don't know that I'd be considering streaming it. I don't know. Maybe, it was really the COVID thing that kind of gave me the time to really consider that. It looks like we lost Minerva. That's probably going to end badly. That's regrettable. Shucks. Definitely not the end of the world. But we are taking a face plant here. That is a face plant. Again, right? I mean, I don't need a team I got to babysit. I need a team that I can just hit play and walk away. And it's not like my team doesn't do that occasionally, particularly on this node. This is, this being the last boss. It's not unheard of for me to take a nosedive there. I usually get halfway through it before that happens, but it's still a good team. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to reconfigure. We're going to keep Black Bolt. We're going to pick up Minerva and Shuri. Not the wrong spot, Shuri. We're going to pick up Yo-Yo and Shuri. Where are you at, Yo-Yo? There you go. She keeps creeping up that list because I give her all the love I can give her. Matter of fact, I can't raise her anymore unless I get more red stars on her. Love Yo-Yo. Obviously, you don't get a Yo-Yo like that unless you put some money down on some offers. Nobody's that lucky with premium orbs. But, nah, come on. I hate that timer. There's nobody waiting to get into this freaking node. We're all got our own lanes. Why the fuck is that timer like that? Nobody said, like, man, I'm trying to do something, but the guy's in my way trying to pick a team. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. Why is that timer even there? Or if it's there, why isn't it fucking 3 minutes or 5 minutes? Give me time to pick a team, for fuck's sake. That's annoying. This is annoying. Quality of life stuff. All right. So, blah, blah, blah. Man, Black Bolt is just so OP. Oh, no, Pyro. Gotta kill Pyro, man. Those heal blocks are just brutal. Cha-chow. No, okay. Okay, we're good. Good old Black Bolt. So, I've been looking into it. Like I say, I'm about to get some Photoshop going and start kind of teaching myself that. Try to make some decent thumbnails, and I really think that a big part of getting more eyes on the stream is going to be releasing more short form content. I mean, there's no doubt that the majority of the people on YouTube are really more interested in 10, 15 minute content, But anything further than that, most people are just not going to sift through. I might impart a lot of good things. I might show a lot of good things and say a lot of good things during this live stream. But people that want to parse that information but aren't really necessarily looking to entertain themselves with a live stream, they're not going to come digging through this shit to find that gold. So, these have all primarily been 2 to 3 hour streams. So I need to really focus more on putting out small, short form content, and stuff that's useful to the players. And I'm certainly, in fact, I'm hoping for suggestions. As players yourselves, which I assume you all are who are here. If you have any kind of suggestion on what sort of video you'd like to see, throw it out there. Right? Like I get the obvious, gameplay of new characters and stuff like that. We're certainly going to try to do that. On some level, I really don't want to do things. I don't want to do things I don't want to step on anybody's toes, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm not going to do a weekly mailbag. I'm not going to review offers, and I'm not going to make tier list videos and shit like that, right? I'm not stepping on anybody's toes. I'm a fan of all those guys, and I'm really not looking to bite into their viewership in any way. I just wanted to put my gameplay out there for anybody who might be interested in seeing it, and as another way of engaging with my alliance. So, and so far it's been kind of fun for that. I have learned things about you guys, assuming it's my people in here. I have no idea really. But I have learned things about people in my alliance that I've been able to chat with them on a more human level than I have in the past. So, I mean, mostly it's just me like hollering orders at them in chat, right? Not hollering, but you know what I mean. Just leading the pack. Just leading the pack. Oh, sorry, I'm showing you Baxos because I'm setting up Baxos right now. So, I'm not exactly sure when midnight Pacific is, but I'm pretty sure it's way after I'm going to go to bed, so I'm not going to worry about that. Let's just go right down the middle with this. And now we'll go in Focus Trooper. Okay. So, what's going on with that? Got that boss down. No raid energy left. Got 12 hours left on this. I mean, I will be able to hit this in the morning. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do one more node. We'll go ahead and put 50 cores on it. Because I want to do everything I can to lay a foundation to help my Mortys hit 60%. Alright. Getting there. We're moving on through to the end of this. So, appreciate those of you who are here. We're a small stream. We're slowly growing. I mean, I got what? 23 subscribers. We're growing every day. We're only 3 days into this. We're going to grow the stream. We're going to grow the beard. We're going to grow. I could use a little potpourri. You're fucking right about that, man. I have not touched it, actually, since I walked back over here. By the way, if anyone is enjoying this content, thank you, Stoner, or Baxos, because he's the guy who really pushed me to do this, and I owe it all to him. Not everybody has a brother who believes in them. And I do appreciate that. So I'm going to get that potpourri. Be right back. Oh, yeah. So I verified, if you're interested, if you've been following the saga of my PC build, I have, with the help of a friend of Baxos's, who really did me a solid, and I've been corresponding back and forth with him for the last 24 hours on this. He's been helping me figure out where I went wrong. And it turns out really that, I mean, there were a few things I kind of had a little bit wrong, but really the fatal flaw that's keeping the computer from posting is actually, I think at this point, we're pretty sure it's bad hardware. It's definitely an issue with the graphics card, the GPU. And you can take it out and it fires up. So put it in and it posts, but it does not, it won't post, but it will fire up, but the motherboard gives an error. VGA error, basically saying that the graphics card ain't right. So either the power supply to the graphics card is insufficient somehow, or has the wrong cable, but I don't think that's right. Basically, what I'm looking at is I probably got a bad graphics card in the mail, and it's faulty, from shipping, or it just shipped that way. As it is, I mean, they only do so much quality control on these things, and so there's always bad parts that get out and shipped. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to send it back to the manufacturer and get my money back, or get a replacement. I'm gonna verify that hopefully tomorrow morning by taking the graphics card out of the PC that I'm using right now, and I'm gonna put it on the operator table, take its GPU out, put it in that other one, and see if it'll post then, because I know this graphics card works. And if that works, then it's definitely the card itself and not the power issue, and I've basically got it figured out. I just need to buy another card. Which will suck, because that was $1,000, right? It's $1,000 card. I'm not happy about that, but I'll buy another one, put it in that, and then when they ship me back the one I'm gonna send them, then I'll probably put it in this machine where they'll both have a top-end graphics card. So it's not terrible, not the end of the world, not the end of the world. So, back to Marvel Strike Force, since now we're done talking about that shit, right? So Baxos is moving along over here. I'll go ahead and do one more node. Nah, I'm not gonna do 100. Let's see, that leaves me 1, 2. That's only 3 I need to do in the morning. That'll leave me with some extra energy anyway. So yeah, let's let that ride for now, and we'll back out of here. Twerk got 7-star Phoenix, my man. All right. So yeah, we need to do the Greek raid. Looks like Strike Team 3 is the place to be. And I like to leave the middle lanes for my Mortys now. I used to go down them, but now I can see that all these defender and shield lanes are probably easier to fill for my Mortys. And while I'm sure not all of us have an Avengers or Spider-Verse team that can roll through this shit, and I do, so I've started taking that lane. That just seems to be the best lane for me. So I'm gonna join up here, and then I'll come in here with Baxos in a minute. I'll take him up this lane beside me. I kind of like to work them up together. So I like to roll through the Spider-Verse lane with one of my favorite teams, which is the Symbiote Spider-Verse team. Which, it's got Peter, it's got Miles. They're not really the stars of this team. You would think Spider-Man would be the star of a Spider-Verse team, but he's not. Symbiote Spider-Man is. Not regular Spider-Man. So these 3 in the middle here really do all the heavy lifting on this team. And man, they're incredible. They are so good. They're a fairly reliable counter to Asgard. They probably can't punch up as much as some counter teams can, but they're still useful. I mean, that's kind of their, sometimes some of these offensive teams are really kind of niche teams. Like Asgard is tough, and you need counters for them. But Symbiotes, don't get me wrong, Symbiotes could probably beat a lot of teams, but the only meta team that they could reliably beat is that I'm aware of is Asgard. I haven't thrown them up against Mercs or any of some of the new shit. I don't think they would really do that well against Hydra, right? But great team. So let's see here. Looks like, Baxos is done with alt, so moving on. Getting him involved here. Let's see, that was Strike Team 3, right? Just the sustain on these guys, man. How much they heal themselves. And like I say, it's really all about those 3 in the middle. There's been plenty of times that Spidey or Miles dies, and they just push on. It's doesn't really hurt them that bad. It's like a minor imposition. Alright. So yeah, I take Baxos up the lane beside me so that he can use Guardians, and he's got a pretty good one. He's got a pretty good one. Matter of fact, I pulled some red stars on Mantis the other day with him. So every little bit helps. I'm thinking I'm going to raise Wakanda at some point on him. I got a decent core, but I haven't really raised him up from there. I need to get him up to tier 11 and all that. But he's got a good looking Wakanda. He's got like a 6 or a 7 red star Killmonger, you know, and that guy does good damage. Bury me in the ocean with my people. So let's see here. We'll start off with on Iron Man. I don't like that synergy he has with Cap, so we're just going to get rid of that. And then let's take care of these Ant-Mans before they hit us all with speed down. Okay, they got one off on me, but look at that. They resisted it. Ain't nothing but a thing, man. Ain't nothing but a thing. Ooh. Verta has unlocked Phoenix. Verta. Damn. Good job, Annie. Matt, whatever, you know. We got a guy that's joined us recently. Well, I guess it hasn't really been that recent at this point. You guys have been with us for a while now. But he's been, you know, I got these two guys that really stepped up, and they've been doing a lot for the Alliance. I've made one of them an officer now. I would make Animagus an officer if he had the time, but that guy's got a lot of responsibilities. He's playing 3 accounts for us, and he streams in another game, and has a way more successful stream than mine. Of course, I'm new, but still. He also does a great Valley Flying impersonation. Ask him about that. And, yeah, so, you know, what really twists my panties about this shit is these two awesome players that I'm really so happy to have are from Auburn, of all places, and I grew up in North Alabama as a Bama fan. And you know, if you're not from our state, probably don't realize just how much that conflicts me. But you know, for those of you from the American South, or at least SEC country, probably understand. God, I miss football. I hope we have a season this year. All right, so let's. I'd like to start off hitting Danvers and just get her out of the way, but we're gonna need to kill. Hand Sentry so he doesn't stealth everybody. Cause what a hassle! Nobody needs that. So funny thing, right? I didn't know at first that Animagus was a barely successful YouTube streamer in Harry Potter Wizards Unite, and he'd been doing it for a good year. You know, I'm pretty close to a year, I think, before I met him even. And I had no idea. His buddy JD told me about it, and I checked out the channel. And my brother Baxos told me, he said, you know, you should go be a good friend and go like and comment on all of his videos. And I was like, you're absolutely right, man. I should freaking do that. Like, I should do that today. That's a good show of solidarity, right? And, you know, Baxos with his little mischievous grin was like, what you should do is go comment Roll Tide on every video. And like the shithead I am, I did exactly that. And so now I'm getting my due now. I've already received a War Eagle on one of my videos. But, you know, that's cool. Honestly, you know, the more you guys like or comment these videos, the more likely we can get it out there to people outside of the Alliance and get more eyeballs on it and increase traffic. And that's another, you know, again, that's why I want to do short form videos. Because, you know, that's kind of what you got to do on YouTube, right? You need to have fancy thumbnails. You need to really consider your titles. I don't think tags are as important as they used to be, but titles are, thumbnails are, and you know, That's probably the best way that we're going to pull eyes onto the live streams. Oh wait, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go this lane. That's Baxos' lane. I don't want to go over here. I'll take the Kree hand-eye combination so that he can take the Kree Ravager, because he's got a. I mean, I got a pretty good Yondu too, but he needs to use his Yondu. I don't, and I don't need to use that damn hand sentry either. I'm just going to use my basic Kree team, and I'll just throw Minerva and Danvers onto it. My Ultimus team, essentially. So we'll get rid of Cyborg, and we don't even need a tank. We'll get rid of him, and we'll put Danvers and Minerva in there. And, this is a team that's got enough juice to get the job done, pretty much typically. Right. Yeah, roll tide, bro. Roll tide. All right. So we get him started. Danvers will demolish somebody to start, because she always does. You guys ever notice like the cockroaches and rats crawling around on the map here? You ever seen that? You ever notice that? Maybe it's easier to notice like at 60 frames per second on BlueStacks. And if you have a computer at home, I really suggest downloading BlueStacks onto your computer and playing the game on that. I'm not sponsored at all by BlueStacks. I got no money from this. They sponsor most of the major streamers, but I'm not obviously not one of the major streamers, and I'm not looking for sponsors. I'm really not looking to profit from this at all. This is just kind of a fun hobby I'm trying to pick up. And maybe one day, if viewers and donations come in, then I could see it as a side revenue stream in my retirement. But mostly, though, I just want to see where this goes and have a good time with it. I enjoyed the streams that I did 5 years ago, sans webcam. And this experiment thus far has been a lot of fun. And I'm really digging the way I transformed my living room into a studio. I live in a little house, and I don't really have room for an office per se. I got an extra bedroom upstairs, but it would not be suitable for what I want to do. So, I didn't really even get hurt on that note, so moving on to the next one. We got to head on down and meet Baxos at the pass. Good morning, Mr. Sander. How are you, sir? How are things in Denmark? Yeah, we better go after Sentry first. So I gotta tell you guys, man, me and Baxos and this friend of his, Todd, we were all hanging out over here the other day, yesterday, and working on the computer, and trying to get it to post. And when we made progress and we figured out it was the graphics card that it would boot up without the GPU, man, it lit up, and for the first time, I got to see it come on, right? And all the fans kicked on, all the RGB kicked in, all these pretty lights and everything. And I was euphoric. I mean, it's still not running. We still got issues, don't get me wrong. But just seeing that thing light up, man, I can't wait to get that sucker right here on this desk. And when we get it all set up, it's actually not an unimpressive setup now as it is. But I'll give you a little walk around of the office when I get everything done and get the PC set up and the second one going over here with the capture card. Then I'll give you guys a tour. Also, I'm going to get a new phone or borrow Baxos's to do that. But because my camera's busted, just quit working on me. 2 good years with that phone. It's like they don't expect you to keep them forever. It might be 3 years now. It's been a while. But I don't even think it's been 2, matter of fact. I don't know. I'd have to look at my records. So let's see here. Yeah, we'll drop 50 on just pushing one more out. And That sounded bad. I probably phrased that wrong. So off to prison this morning, are we, Mr. Sander? You don't anybody be alarmed. He works at the prison. It makes a seriously long commute, as we were discussing yesterday. I like a short commute. And, when you live a life like I have where you've had to move around the country chasing a job, you keep going to city, it starts, like where you really just, location doesn't matter as much. There's no place in that town that really has a special meaning to you or feels like home necessarily. So I just buy a place as close to the plant as I can stomach that I still feel like it's a nice neighborhood. And in fact, the place I'm at now is completely, I probably wouldn't be here at all left to my own devices. I'm in this neighborhood because largely because of Baxos' wife. She picked the place, I think, for the most part. Maybe Baxos had more to do with it. He could clarify. I don't know. But I know they really love this neighborhood. They lived here for, like a year before I moved here. It's just a little inner city neighborhood that's kind of up and coming, gentrifying, I guess is what you would say. Like matter of fact, there's an old meth house down the road that they've torn down and they're rebuilding. So, it's a neighborhood on the rise. It's an inner city neighborhood. It's on the rise. Not necessarily like downtown, but adjacent to it. And it's a pretty good neighborhood. A lot of good property values. I've really enjoyed living here. It's very convenient. Yeah, we're next door neighbors. You see that window behind me? U-Stoner / Baxos is about 30 feet that way in his house. I mean, there's like a little alley right out here that runs down in between rows of houses, and he's right on the other side. If I lifted that window, all you would see is his house. That's what's there. Like we could very nearly like lean out our windows and pass things to each other. Not quite. And also he's got bars on his window. But I digress. So, okay, that's all the energy I'm going to put into this one. Let me see where Baxos is standing here. Can he pop one more out? Yep, we're going to move him on, and then we'll both meet up on this boss in the morning. So, he can do that without us. We're moving on. So the next thing we want to do, let's see, we got raids done, we got arena done. That's pretty much, we don't want that. I've already got that. Yeah, I think it's still kind of early, but we're kind of wrapped up. Let's tell you what we'll do. We'll do another another arena raid here. I'm mixing up my terms. We're going to do another arena battle and get ourselves to number 2 in the arena. And hopefully, when I get up tomorrow, I won't be any lower than 5 at worst. We'll see how it goes. So I'm pretty sure my timer's up. Yeah, oh yeah. And look at that, Unclouded. Since the last attack, while we were doing raids, Unclouded has pushed himself into number 1 again. And I don't think he's going to stay there long. But I'm not going to be the guy to bump him out because that's not really. I pick off number 1 right at the end. Usually if I bump into number, it just makes you a target, right? People are going to try to snipe you at the last minute. And you don't want to be in a defensive position when you're trying to get number 1 at the very last minute. My idea is the most successful strategy that I've had is to wait until about 10 minutes before the rewards are calculated. And that's when I log in. I have a look. And that gives me time to do 2, maybe even 3 fights if I need to. Usually 2 fights will get me there. I do 1 fight to put myself in position because maybe I've been knocked down to 5 or 6, Maybe not. Maybe I'm still floating around at like 4 or what have you. And then I just need 1 shot to take that guy. And I try to time it just right where when I beat them, there's less than 2 minutes on the clock, right? Because a lot of these guys, it takes them 2 tries to beat my team. And even if it only takes them 1-2 minutes, is not 5 minutes, right? So if I can try to get it less than 2 minutes, hell, loading times take that long. So I usually can hold on to it at that point, right? So that's basically the name of the game, is sniping. So I'm going to go to number 2 right now, and then hopefully I can hold that position till morning. But the last thing I want to do is get this guy and hit this guy at number 1, and then wake up tomorrow before I go to work and I'm still number 1, because then I can't make an attack. I don't get to add to the World Warrior totals for the guild, and also I have very little control over where I'm going to end up at the end of the day. So I would rather just kind of linger, right? And it doesn't matter where you're at until except for that one time it's 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, right? That is the only time that it matters what your position is. So I kind of linger below 1 and then pop up to 1 last second. So these maws that people are putting in complicate things. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hope that we can dupe his Mr. Sinister into cloning a shitty character like an Ultron bot. But I think his is fast enough that we're not gonna get the chance. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to stealth here. I should have, because I'm actually, sometimes my Ultron doesn't get to go before him, but that's what I wanted. See, he cloned the healing bot, and that's exactly what I wanted. So that puts me at a big advantage right there. And so now I'm just going to go take that bot away from him. And I'm also going to clone his Phoenix, because I'm not making that mistake. All right, so let's see now. Now I'll stealth everybody. Well, not everybody, but most people. Because you have to be very conscious about what characters you're leaving on the board for Mr. Sinister to clone, right? And your best bet is to stealth everybody but Phoenix and the Ultron bots. And that gives you a 3 out of 4 chance that he clones a bot, which is, pretty much game over at that point if it's a close fight, but not necessarily. He's going to do some damage with this Phoenix for sure. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just going to hit her. We don't need her doing damage, so we're going to try to take her out before she gets to drop her big bomb. Here comes Maw, draining everybody. He's doing some good. Oh, that kind of hit me out of left field. But I'm still feeling good about this. The only thing that sucks is, oh man, who did he kill there? Okay, we're good. We're probably okay here. I'm not panicking yet. I really expected to get a free attack on Sinister there. Okay, I was waiting for the counter attack. Gotcha. I hate that she's going to get this off. That sucks. That sucks big time. She just killed Yo-Yo. All right, but we're going to get 2 Dark Phoenixes off here, and we might be able to salvage this. We're going to focus on Black Bolt then, since she's already dropped her ultimate. Oh, piss off, Ma. Oh, this might be bad. This might be terribly bad. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's good for you, Lucky. That's the first time I've lost to you. That was actually, that was alarming. I don't know why, right? Like, I mean, first world problems. I'm like, oh, why didn't I beat him first shot? We'll be back in 11 minutes to get that spot. It's not a big deal. So, and that's actually pretty kind of good, right? Because I usually don't get all 5 attacks in. It's okay, Max. It's all right. I usually don't get all 5 attacks in, and those attacks really do add a lot to the World Warrior totals, right? And I'm trying to tote more weight on this, because God knows Red Top really pulled in a high total on these all the time. But there's some good milestone rewards to be had here, right? We especially want to get down here and pick up. In particular, I want these 100 basic catalysts. I gotta have that, right? And I'm sure everybody else wants the T4s and the Captain Marvel shards, right? I mean, who doesn't need that? I want to see all my guys have a 7 red star, or a 7-star at least, Captain Marvel. That's just a great tool to have in your bag. So we got 12 minutes to kill. I could blitz for a little bit. If somebody wanted a PvP, you could come on at me. Or if you just have any questions, comments, or concerns, throw them out in chat. We got a few minutes to kill here. While you guys figure out, you just put it in chat what you'd like me to do next. I'm going to take a 5-second potpourri break. I'll be right back. This is pretty good potpourri. All right. It's very important. It's very important to maintain proper ambiance in the room. So welcome to those of you who just recently joined in. My name's Vac. If we haven't met, chances are we probably have at this point, but if we haven't met and you just found your way here via the YouTube channels of some sort, then my name is Vac. We're playing Marvel Strike Force. And I am the leader of an alliance called the Mortytown Locos, which, we're not the most successful alliance in the game. We're actually very far from it. Gold 2 is the league that we play in war, and we're pretty successful. But honestly, if you looked at our rosters, you'd be impressed. I mean, we punch way above our weight. We very rarely see anybody in war that has less than 5 million total collection power. But we have I bet half our membership at this point is actually lower than 5 million. Let's have a look. Actually, let's just take a tour of it while we have this little bit of downtime. And I need to make sure that I got everything done over here on backs. No, he still needs to do arena. So there you go. And he's got some energy to spend. So anyway, let's take a look at our alliance. These are the Mortytown Locos. I will sort them by collection power. Starting off with me, founding member, 10 million collection power. Spawn is Mr. Thomas in the chat there. He is not necessarily, he's not a founding member per se, but he's been with us an awful long time. I'm pretty sure he joined us in the first month or thereabouts. And he's really grown along with us and has been a very valuable member of our team. Same for Nate. And Nate's impressive because Nate splits a lot of his time between another game that he plays with friends and family and still manages to kick 9 kinds of ass in our game. So Nate's an impressive specimen. Is a strange name, I grant you, but this guy's a solid player. And you're seeing that, like about half of the roster here is above 5 million. Twerp is a founding member. That guy, I've known Twerp. I think I met Twerp in 2001, 2002, something like that. And we've been gaming together ever since. Never met each other. I live on the east side of the country. He lives on the west side of the country. Like we've talked and we've got phone numbers and stuff, so we're friends. We're legit real life friends. We just never met in real life. Red Taw's kind of the bridge between us. He's actually met both of us in real life. But we've never met each other. Mostly just because, neither one of us, it's a long trip, I guess is basically what I'm saying. Red Taw's got the time and wherewithal to make a long trip. And me and Twerp were a little older and a little caught up in careers and bullshit and families and things like that. So Stormcloud, also another guy, not a founding member, but definitely joined us early and has been with us ever since, been a solid member of the Mortytown crew. Violeta is an account that's been with us for a long time. It used to be called Red Taw, and so now we have one of our members is playing it currently while we're shuffling accounts around trying to find homes, and we got a few accounts that we're going to try to give to new members. We're trying to talk real life friends, etc., into coming along and picking up some of these accounts because, man, bringing in if I had a friend that was like, man, that game looks great, I'd really love to play it. He's not ever going to be able to come play with us unless either we have an account to gift him, or a built-up account at that, or he's planning on spending a shit ton of money. Otherwise, he can still come in here and help, and you'll see we got some guys on the bottom end that are not anywhere near 5 million collection power, but still manage to contribute in a big way to our team. And I think it's largely about how we approach war. So anyway, Volatile, you got Queso. Queso is one of these guys, man. And by the way, congratulations, Queso, on topping 5 million. The last time I looked, you were still out under 4. Queso, man, this spicy cheese motherfucker right here. This guy is another guy that joined us after we formed the guild a little while later, sometime in the first month or two. It was pretty early on, and we've had this guy forever. I mean, close, going on 2 years now. And wonderful player, has made a lot of advancement on his roster, and solid gamer, man, solid gamer. Same for Short Bus, hasn't been with us as long, but has really made an impression on all of us in the short time that he's been here. Although it's not really that short at this point. He's been, short. It's not really that long. I mean, he's been around for a little while now, and he's pushing up toward 5 million. Smokin also, man, is one of those guys that has been hanging with us since early on in the Mortytown Locos career. Kopachez as well. That he's a again, not a founding member, but has been with us for the duration, and I gotta respect those guys, man, that have been hanging with us since day one, because we've had our ups and downs, right? We're getting pretty fucking successful now, but we've had our ups and downs, and we've had our bad moments. We've had times that we were down 5-6 people on the roster, and it would have been really easy for a lot of these guys to jump ship and look for just look for greener pastures. And I got to really respect the guys who did it, because I mean, we're really, it's paying dividends now. JD is one of those guys that joined us. He's one of the Auburn guys I mentioned earlier. Him and Adam Magus, and I really felt like they've contributed a lot. I mean, a lot to us. So I'm trying to reward them for that, because I have to appreciate what they brought to the table. Curly Smalls has also been around with us a good long time. Sloth and his wife Koza are both excellent players that we've appreciated having. Here you got Baxos, my brother, who's a founding member. Murr, I don't think I've ever really talked to Murr. He doesn't say much, but his play is solid, so I've never had any complaints about the guy. Mick has done a good job advancing his roster. I'll give him that. He's not as much of a team player as I'd like. I'm trying to coach the guy, but I don't think he really watches chat very often. And I'm almost certain he's not paying any attention to this stream. Animagus is the guy I mentioned earlier that has the successful Wizards Unite stream, etc. And just a quality player. I mean, of course, I wish he was like 5 million TCP, but the guy's got a lot of demands on his time. Plus, he's currently playing Animagus, Verta, and Violeta. So I have no complaints about the time this guy's given us. I know that we're his side bitch, and he's still giving us 100% effort. I respect the hell out of him. Skilled and Res 900 are some friends of mine that I only recruited recently into the game. And they work the same job as me. They got some disposable income like me. And they're both good gamers. And they've been doing a lot to push themselves forward. Now, you may say, well, what the hell is a 2 million TCP guy going to do to help out a Gold 2 team, or a Gold 2 alliance, especially with a guy who's got 10 million on the roster, right? And the truth is that most of the people we're fighting are about 5 million to 4, maybe mid-4s to mid-5s is about the average on TCP. But the truth is, man, is that if you coordinate and you're really efficient and like I say, coordinated about where you attack in war, there is a lot of good that can be done by these lower ranked guys. I mean, for one thing, Skilled and Reds, at the very least, both of those guys have a pretty top-notch Asgard team. They both have a Black Bolt. They're both working on a good arena team, and they both have a pretty good Black Order team. So all of the new hotness that has hit the game since they started playing, they've picked up. So they're swiftly catching up, and they are both managing to contribute in a pretty good way. So I have no complaints about their low collection power. I am content to let them catch up. Thor's been with us a good while. English is not his first language. I'm not holding that against him. He seems like a really nice guy. And he and I have had like one little incident where we kind of spat some words at each other in the past. But on the whole, man, I think he's been a pretty good player for us. I wouldn't put him on my MVP list. There's a lot of these guys I probably wouldn't, but I love them all. We all have good days and bad days, and it's a process of coaching. And so that's basically a rundown of our roster. That's all 24 of our guys. Unfortunately, that's not 24 human beings. And so we do want to fix that. We want to bring in a few more live bodies because we got several of our people that are being strained trying to play multiple accounts. And that's just, that's not healthy for anybody. We don't want anybody to feel like this is a job. So we're working on that. Hello to those of you who just joined. While I was on to that, I didn't mean to confuse you. We're just doing like a quick tour of my alliance here while I'm giving some shout out to the Mortys. My name's Vac. We're playing Marvel Strike Force, and we're hopefully giving you a view of just basically my daily playing time. Oh, thank goodness, there's some more red stars. Hello. Let's open those up and get nothing, huh? But it'll be progress toward the next Elite Four, which is progress toward the next Elite 5, and incremental progress. That's how this game rolls. So anyway, hello to those of you just joining us. Be you Morty or non-Morty, welcome to the Mortytown Locos. I'm kind of in a lull right now. I'm waiting on my timer to come back around on Arena, which is really about the only thing I have left to do tonight. Having done raids, and we don't have a war going until the morning. So if any of you are interested in doing a PvP match on the stream, I am down for that. If you're significantly lower TCP than me, I really don't mind if you want to set strictures on me. Like we do something fun, like I'll only play minions or something like that. I'm cool with that. Just something to fill in the time and keep us entertained. Other than that, I'm still a good ways from another 4. Can't wait to get to this. I can't wait to get to this Elite 6. That's going to be incredible. So, hopefully I don't pull a dupe. The last one I open, I got a dupe. This is crazy to pull up a 6 and get a dupe. But is this the sign that you're doing well? It's pretty much the way I take it. So, fire off any questions you got. Hell, you can ask me personal questions if you want. I reserve the right not to answer. But anything you have, questions you have about my account, about my alliance, about my method of gameplay. If you're interested in just what my daily routine is. I think a lot of the Mortys have kind of clued in on how I play now. But my opinion, for what little it's worth, is yours for the asking. And so, just while we're in the intervening period, if anybody else doesn't have anything for me to do, I'm going to wrap up Baxos Morty real quick here, and just for the good of my alliance. I have been trying to prepare him for this Phoenix event, and I came up short. I just have not had good luck. In free to play, there's a way more luck involved in free to play than there is non-free to play. I've seen that pretty clearly. I'm farming shards on the requisite characters every day. But I don't have enough to really open up her being Phoenix. I basically need more on hand assassin is what it comes down to. That's what it comes down to ultimately. So I'm hesitant to show you the other half of my screen where I'm playing another account. I think video evidence of that might get one or both of my accounts shut down, so I'm not going to fool with all that. But it'd be nice to show you what I'm actually looking at here. It's like playing a piano in some ways. I used to 2-box in MMOs back in the day. Anybody do any of that? Where you play 2 accounts on 2 computers in an MMO at the same time. Basically, you'd make a DPS character or something or a tank maybe, like some kind of cool damage character of some sort, and then you'd make yourself a healer and then just like hit auto follow and have him you'd have this little pet healer just following you around. Of course, the best pet healer that auto followed on me that I ever had was Red Top, but that's a different story. Different story. So, for those of you who are Mortys, I was hanging out in Animagus' stream at work today, and I kept was egging him on to talk about the like button and the bell, and I kept pushing him. I was like, smash the bell, smash the bell, say smash the bell, and I eventually got him to do a Valley Flying impersonation that was. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. I enjoyed the shit out of it. And for those of you who found yourself here who've never heard of Valley Flying, he's a fairly successful YouTube Marvel Strike Force streamer. In my opinion, he's probably got some of the best production value of all the guys that are doing this. I you know, ultimately, as far as like imparting game knowledge, Casino's the wizard, no doubt. But Valley makes some nice videos, man. He's got good effects. He's got an awesome looking office behind him. You know, his videos are appealing. You know, they really pop. I got to give him credit. But he also, and one funny thing about him is he kind of talks like Hulk Hogan, you know, or maybe a lot of you guys aren't old enough to know who Hulk Hogan is, but he talks like this, brother, and he wants to know, are you going to be a Hulkamaniac? And so that's kind of how, that's like Valley's persona is. It's like that guy wanted to be a wrestler, but he ended up being a Marvel Strike Force streamer instead. And you know, I mean, it's legit. He's bombastic, and he's got a personality for his stream, and I'm not knocking him at all. But to hear Animagus do that impersonation himself was high entertainment for me. I don't know. I mean, I was sitting around bored at work, so maybe the bar was low. I don't know, but I enjoyed it. And it was somewhere toward the middle end of his latest stream, something about 1 o'clock this afternoon. I highly recommend it if you have the time. So, yeah, okay, I got nothing I really want to buy there. Trying to knock out some energy on Baxos. I wish I had enough energy to really do some damage over here. I tell you what, just so we got something to look at while I'm fooling around with Baxos. We're just going to autoplay through some Blitz missions. I don't really need Frank Castle, but we're here, so we might as well be doing something productive. Yesterday we spent a good bit of time discussing the Netflix Defenders shows. I could have used Baxos here to properly defend John Barenthal, but yeah, I'm a Daredevil guy all the way, right? I think that was easily the best of those shows. I'm so good, in fact, that I really hope they bring that guy back to Charlie Cox, I think is his name. I really hope they bring that guy back to portray Matt Murdock at a future date in the MCU. You know, I mean, I get it. You know, the shows did not do as well as people hoped, especially like Iron Fist. The shows didn't do as well as the money guys hoped. I get that, and on the whole, Disney considered it not a success, and they want their properties back. I get all that, but nobody was really complaining about the casting on some of these guys. So I mean, it would just really make sense for Marvel to retain fans by casting some of those people back into those roles. There's no need to thumb your nose at fans. I mean, I don't know. I mean, unless they promised one of those roles to Keanu Reeves, and then all bets are off. All right, you're out. Keanu's in. I get that, right? I get that. We'll call it the Reeves exception. How about that? Not that I could really see Keanu playing Punisher, but I know that they're really shopping around trying to get him in the MCU. So, yeah. I really doubt that would be the role they'd offer him. Oh yeah, I'm not fighting here. Wait a minute. Back at it. Back at it. Yeah, you. Okay. So what about you guys? Any of you guys see the Defenders shows? Even the Defenders itself? Anybody have a favorite? Tell me your opinion so I can tell you it's wrong. No, I'm kidding. I'm playing. All right. Get this Graviton to gear tier 11. We're working on Baxos' aim. Just seems to me to be the best team to take down the harder nodes in the villain campaign. Specifically the Villain 7 campaign that came out recently. I have pushed him as far as the Hela node. He's got that, so he can farm Hela, and he's definitely got Hela on farm right now. Because I would love to get Black Bolt on him next time that comes around. It's not often I field a team with Night Nurse on it. All right. So anyway, back to Valley Flying. I don't want you to smash any buttons, right? That's bad for your hardware. Don't do that. But if you like what you're seeing, you're entertained at all by the stream. And if you're not, that's cool. I get it. I'm new. I got a lot to learn on this. I'm trying to up the production value on this. I need overlays. I need Streamlabs of some kind of overlay system. I don't know. I gotta pick it all up and figure it out. Right now, man, I'm just pointing a camera at me and I'm playing games. You know what I mean? And I really hope that there's something here for you guys to glean from it, because I've been fairly successful at this game. And I get it. I'm just a whale. I paid for it. Blah blah blah. And there's certainly some element to that. I've been a paying customer since a couple weeks into the game. I took a few weeks to play free to play and just wasn't real sure if I was even going to stick with it. It was just some game I picked up to play at work because I was working 12-hour shifts, and I was just stuck sitting around a break room. My job, I'm kind of like a fireman, right? Like I sit around a break room with other guys and we're all skilled tradesmen. I'm sitting in there with millwrights and electricians and people like that. And I myself being a pipe fitter, we're in a place where, really robots do most of the work in that place. And it's our job to fix the robots. So if the robots are all running, then we're kind of mostly just, we got some PM work that we do, what we call preventative maintenance work, where you'll go out and you'll put eyes on things that are in remote areas of the plant that people don't look at much, just to make sure that there's no wear and tear, things like that. We got little tasks like that we do, but it doesn't keep you busy all day. So most of the day you're kind of hanging out in the shop with the other tradesmen, and you just you got a radio and they're going to call you if they need you, and you're like a fireman, man. You're like a fireman sitting around the firehouse, right? And if there's a fire, they call you, and they want you there quick if they call you. Don't get me wrong, because they're losing thousands of dollars every minute that line is down. They got to have them robots running. But so I found myself on long shifts sitting around the fire station, right? No fires happening. So I needed something to kill time, and that's how I found my way into Marvel Strike Force. And it's been a great game. I mean, once I figured out BlueStacks and I put it on my computer at home. I mean, it's really now. It's the first game I've played like this. It was really this super convenient where I can play the same game, the same account, the same character, build on the same progression, whether I'm at home, away, whatever state I'm in. It doesn't matter, right? And mobile games, of course, are a thing since before this. And I mean, obviously, you can play your mobile game at home, but this is the first one that I could set down my phone, load it up on my computer here, play it in 60 frames per second, and fairly good looking quality game here. You know, the graphics are not terrible at all, and I can do that, you know, at will, you know, back and forth. So that's a level of you know, just ease of use that I haven't had in a game really ever to that degree. It's really pretty slick, and it's one of the reasons that I've persisted in playing this game for 2 years now. Right, like I have not spent that much time playing a game ever. I can't recall. I mean, you know, maybe World of Warcraft, shit like that. You know, there's some MMOs that I've certainly stuck with for a long. I bet if you added up all the time I spent playing Warhammer Age of Reckoning, or probably even SWTOR, the Star Wars: The Old Republic, I've probably played close to 2 years of those, but not necessarily in one shot, right? Like I've never played a game like this where, like it's almost insidious, but like if you miss one day, if you don't log in for one day, you are missing out on some, you know, not insubstantial rewards in the milestones. So yeah, that daily login total is pretty important. It's not super vital. Like if you miss it, it's not the end of the freaking world, and you can still have a successful account. But it's a lot of stuff, you know. I mean, it's a lot of red star orbs and shit like that, and you know, you want to collect all those. You want to collect those milestones. You don't want to get to 300 and some odd days played and then lose your streak, right? Like that would just be terrible. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of what drove Red Tot to quit, right? Like Red Tot was kind of wobbling. You know, he'd been playing more other games lately and things like that, and you know, nobody can blame him. Everybody gets burnt out, but and he certainly had been putting a lot of effort into this game for a long time. But I think he had technical issues one day and he missed his login, and that would probably, you know, get me considering it too. You know, at that point, you're thinking to yourself, well, fuck, what's the point, right? For me right now, the point is I'm going to hang in here and try to make it into the top 50 since I've made it into the top 100. I don't know that I've really ever been this highly placed in a game with this many players. So I'm going to try to work myself into the top 50 as long as the answer isn't whale harder, right? If I can continue to whale about as hard as I am now, then that's optimal for me, and I'm cool. I'll keep swimming in those waters. I know that some of those guys at the top, you know, like those guys on that top page, Disinfected and Tadano Mac Japan, and those, I'm never catching those guys. Those guys are spending tens of thousands of dollars. That's not good. I'm not catching those fucking guys. Nobody is. Those guys are insane, and you know, they're probably the same guys that are on Instagram popping gigantic fucking champagne bottles and taking private jets. And I mean, at least I imagine. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people maybe have thought similar things about me, but the truth is, I'm just a middle-aged guy who's got some disposable income. I'm retired. I got no kids. I got low expenses. My car's paid for. My house is rapidly approaching paid for, and yeah, you know, just I got a pretty decent entertainment budget, and all the money that I used to spend on going to movies and hanging out at bars, looking for my next ex-wife, all that shit's done, pretty much. I'm not doing any of that anymore, so I can spend that money on this. Yeah, you know. As long as what I'm spending for the day doesn't really cost me any more than like dinner with the family, probably okay, you know. Looking good there. That's an autoplay special right there for sure. So, yeah, anyway. That's what I'm about. You guys, you know, feel free to hop in chat, tell me what you're about. You know, even if what you got to say is negative, I thrive on feedback. I know that, you know, like right now it's mostly people I know and people I'm in the alliance with that are hopping in here. watching the live streams. Eventually, we're going to get more and more outside traffic, and that's the point where I'm going to get people calling me a noob and a whale and shit like that. But I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I can handle those punks. All right, moving on. We're starting to get into our good teams now. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm not doing this for a living. I'm not even at the point where I'm going to consider setting up a Patreon page or anything like that. This is just a hobby after work and a little before work for me. But if you could give me a like or just gently caress your subscribe or bell button, one of the something like that, I would certainly appreciate it. It would help me out, and if you're a Morty, it'll help you out. I mean, unless you're a Morty who's in danger of being cut, and then maybe just focus on getting better. But nobody really comes to mind right now. We got too many spots I want to fill to really think about cutting anybody anyway. We've certainly done our share back in the past, when we were just kind of rolling through people that just sort of randomly joined. And I love it that some of these guys found their way to us just by searching us out on the alliance list and liking our name. And that's kind of what me and Baxos were really saying from the start. Like, if they like the name, they're cool, and we kind of want to hang out with them. They can be in the alliance, right? If you don't know what Mortytown Locos is, you're not as cool as you think you are, and you may not be cool enough to hang out with us. I hate to say it, but that's just the way it is, right? Okay, I'm sorry. I loved how, I don't know if he was around, I think it was last night, maybe this morning, that Sloth was mentioning to me that he's met Dan Harmon not once, but twice, and met Justin Roiland on one of those occasions. And I'm like, you fucking West Coast guys, right? Like, I just went down to the gas station, I ran into Sly Stallone, fucking everybody's just out there just running into celebrities everywhere, it seems like. Met Dan Harmon twice. Yeesh. Orange County. I mean, I don't know shit about Orange County except what I saw in that Jack Black movie, but yeah. Good movie, by the way. Later, you stoner. Baxos, we'll see you later, brother. Appreciate you popping in. All right. Yeah, Baxos is only ready for the 5-star Phoenix, I'm afraid, so he's not picking that up this time around unless I get really lucky on, let's see where he's at. Yeah, 151 out of 200 on Hand Assassin. I don't think we're going to make it. But that's alright, we'll get it next time. I'm not expecting, like burning progress out of a free play count. But it's been fun to advance it. Still, I'd like to recruit an outside player somewhere closer to 5 million TCP and then just kind of let that go. It'll still be there if Baxos, he'll lose his login bonus, but it'll still be there if Baxos ever decides he wants to come back to the game. He's kind of an in-game player in Raid right now. He did most of his play at work, and he's kind of furloughed at the moment, right? So he's not getting as much play time as he'd like, and I understand that. And like I say, we all burn out and move on at different points. So it seems that way every game. Like, I start playing a game, and if I start it by myself, then I turn a bunch of friends onto it. We all start playing it. A lot of times we'll go into a game together at the same time. and then everybody kind of drifts off at different points. It's just the nature of the game, nature of gaming, the nature of human people. You talking, it's hard. It's the nature of people. Here I go, I can't talk all of a sudden. Brr. It's just human nature, and that's just sort of the way things are. And there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's looking for the most fun that they can have on their time, their limited time that they have to have fun. We're all out there adulting. We all want to take a little time to pursue our hobbies. And those of us that are gamers, there's always a new game, and those games are usually pretty good, worth looking at. It's never good to just go into a carousel of games necessarily, because you're never going to be good at any one of them. But it's certainly not good either to really get stuck in a rut either. So you got to ride the middle, and I understand that. It's just human nature. See, that came out way easier that time. Believe it or not, I was really into speech and drama in high school. I spent a lot of time on a stage talking to as many as 1,000. No, I think it was only 800 there that day, but still. I've spoken at gigantic conferences, and then here I am, I'm getting tongue-tied in front of a webcam. So, the left hooks that life will throw you. No, don't hit me, Thor! I should have been over here looking at this. Usually you should kill Thor first. He's kind of like Ghost Rider in that regard. He just, it's not necessarily that he's the most desirable character to target, but it's like if you don't target him, then he's just going to make you pay for it. And so it's better just to knock his ass out quick. It sucks, fighting an Asgardian team. You want to kill Thor first. It doesn't always work out that way. I get that. Because you kind of got to burst him to kill him before his stealth kicks in. So, it's hit or miss. Yeah, and here's the Thor we're not worried about because he doesn't have any Asgardians for us to jack his speed bar by hitting. All right. So we don't want to start with Thor, we want to start with Spider-Man. All right. Got Baxos done here. So I've been wondering, I don't know enough about the YouTube search engine to really be sure about this. I need to start kind of looking into it, but I'm wondering if I'm hurting myself using a Rick and Morty name in a Marvel game. Apparently, titles are the biggest thing to find people that are searching for Marvel Strike Force content. So I got MSF at the front, but maybe I should lengthen the name out with Marvel Strike Force. Maybe we should consider another title aside from Mortytown TV. I really hope not that second thing because I like Mortytown TV. I kind of like that as a name for the stream. It just appeals to me. If it's really detrimental, I can let it go. But this is a group effort, and we're all involved in this, and so I really like to keep that name. Also, it's just cool as fuck. Yeah, I said it. Don't at me. Yeah, start with medic. Yeah, let's take Punisher off the board. He's already done his big hitter, but still. So like I said, if anybody has any comments on short form content, you know, like 10-minute videos that I could make, that something, you know, a subject that they like to see, that would be helpful. Because like, you know, I got some ideas, but the more the better. And I think that's also, you know, that's the main draw of why people end up on YouTube, is they're looking for 5 to 15-minute videos that they're going to watch. So, you know, it would be good if we could put some of that out, you know, new character exposés, I guess, or spotlights, things like that. And it's the things like that part I need help with. Like, help me get beyond that. I could probably, I think once I get to another good milestone on TCP, I'll do another roster review video that isn't 2 hours long. I really need to work on that. You know, and we'll go from there. I know that's a difficult amount of time to. Nobody's watching content for that long, unless if they are, they usually just go hunt up a movie. But you know, streaming is getting more and more popular. I thought Twitch was so novel when it started, right? That I mean, it was so novel, so new, you know, that I never envisioned a time just 5 years, 6 years later, you know, or well, I guess Twitch has been out a little longer than that, but still, I really started engaging with Twitch about 5-6 years ago, and I never really envisioned a time down the road where there'd be like 4 to 6 services that host streaming, game streaming in particular. That, you know, the world changes fast, Morty. The world changes fast, especially for an old shit like me. Look at that. Look at all these night nurses to pick from. Yeah, let's go for this one. All right. Let's take Quake out of the equation. No. We want to run through here and put bleeds on everybody, and then we want to smack out all this big deeps with Elsa. That's what I wanted to do anyway, was kill Quake. So there she goes. All right, so these guys are done and done. We're gonna autoplay it. I'm looking for a good arena matchup for backs. That's a weird one. Who uses Ant-Man in Arena? What? I mean, you know, now that I say that, this guy's probably going to destroy me, but whatever. I'm glad it's not on camera. Alright, so let's see here. Let's find a little opponent for... Looks like we're going to end up doing a whole rotation here. Can't wait to get all these Frank Castle shards. Need those Punishers. How do we win this? We get rid of Hawkeye over here. All right. Yeah, I think Team B. Minerva. Such a critical character for the mid game. Well, I guess that's not really true anymore, man, because we got new guys coming in that are really, like, right off the bat focusing on Asgard and Inhumans and Black Bolt and shit like that. So, it really may be a little easier to jump the meta these days, a lot more than it used to be, at least. All right, bye-bye, Luke. I should probably get him as close to defend. That'll do it. Those are mostly city. There we go. All right, let's see. Let's lay that in there. I was really hoping that would land on Elektra. I don't think she's going to do that much damage. All right, let's throw some busts around, and then we'll smack everybody with a heal block. Mostly just for the damage. They're not going to heal here. And this ought to drop 2 or 3 of them right here. There we go. And then we'll smack these 2 over here and get a taunt up. And I love this lash power. It's pretty nice, actually. Alright. And this should finish off. Yep, there he goes. And it's all over. We're still pretty early in the blitz rotation. Well, we're not early in the rotation, but we're still pretty early on the tiers. So I don't know if y'all know, but the actor that plays Crossbones, Frank Gristle or something like that, I think it is, he had been saying in interviews that he would be interested in being a future Captain America. And everybody was like, yeah, okay, right, And I'm not mad at him. He seemed to be like yearning for representation of his own, because he was like, imagine that. A middle-aged Italian-American Captain America. And you know what, man? God bless you, man. But it's probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. You're fucking Rumlow. That's just kind of how the way that is. I think he's even locked in for 5 more movies. So even though Crossbones is dead, he's not dead in this house. But even though Crossbones is dead, they can still bring him back for flashbacks and more time travel hijinks. Who the fuck knows at this point? Could be alternate timeline Crossbones. Who knows? It's Marvel, right? All bets are off. Death is only mildly consequential. Although I do think that even given the fact that Robert Downey Jr.'s subsequent movies have bombed, I still don't necessarily think that he's going to come back and play Iron Man in any significant fashion. I do think he might come back and do small spots. You know what I mean? Flashbacks or more of that hologram shit or something like that. I think that's a possibility. But them doing an actual another Iron Man movie, I don't see that. I really don't see that. I mean, shit. At this point, even like Favreau seems that he's moved on, right? Like he's still working for Disney, but he's moved on from Marvel. It seems like, and he's just completely focusing on the Mandalorian and Star Wars in general. So I don't see another great Iron Man movie coming. I just don't see it happening. I am really interested to see the Black Widow flashback movie because it's of course going to happen well in the past, like right after Civil War. Still one of my favorite movies, Civil War. Great one. Although I mean, honestly, everybody loves, everybody loved Infinity War and Endgame, right? Of course, that was the payoff for 10 years of movie watching for a lot of us. Everybody loved that. But outside of those, I really think that Winter Soldier, Captain America Winter Soldier, is the best film in the series. What's up, Chris? Because of, I really think that, that would, didn't they introduce Black Panther in that one? I'm pretty sure they introduced Black Panther in that one. And, or that might have been Civil War, now that I think about it. That might have been Civil War. But in Winter Soldier, it had a different tone, right? It was more of a spy film. It was all about Hydra taking over S.H.I.E.L.D., which by the way, I mean, they fucked the guys over at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the television show. They didn't coordinate with them on that at all, and they blew every bit of their plot line. Hell, they blew their premise apart. It was pretty bad. But to their credit, the guys over they at Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they rolled with it. They adjusted their plot to fit the MCU, even though the MCU never really acknowledged them. They went out of their way to give us the impression that they were all in the same timeline / universe. Because Nick Fury was in it several times. You put the money out to put Sam Jackson in it. That kind of validated it for me that this is canon. This is part of the MCU. Now there's of course been a lot to really make you think the other way since. But we'll see how it goes after they wrap up the show's run. Later this year, I'm really hopeful that they'll pick up Chloe Bennett as Quake, and I'm sorry I flaked on the actress's name, but the lady who plays Yo-Yo as well would be a great pickup. I don't think that they have a whole lot of Hispanic, Latino characters in the MCU just yet. Yo-Yo would be a great one. It'd be another female to add in the mix. And at least in the show, I don't really know about the comic, but in the show, she's a little older. Like she's middle aged and up. She's not necessarily a spring chicken. Still a good looking woman. Don't get me wrong. Not that really matters, but I'm kind of matters to me. But I'm a horn dog. But still, she did well in the role. Kind of a cute accent. And she really sold it, man. The whole plot line about how she loses her arms and everything around that was pretty killer. It was really it was probably one of the best parts of that particular season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So anyway, let's kick a little butt with our Black Order, which is probably not going to take long against this team. See, so now there's nothing to flip here, so I'm not gonna waste that ability. If you're playing your Black Order, keep an eye out for that. This is really not a great team to autoplay with, which is one of the reasons that it's not a great team for defense, which I can't stress enough. This is really not a great defensive team. But it is a good team. That I will not dispute. Let me drain all that health out of you. Yeah. come to think of it, I probably should just respond in text to him, given yesterday. Because he might not have heard me earlier. He mentioned yesterday that his speakers were on the fritz. The guy's hard on equipment, man. Like, if he's not destroying his equipment, someone in his orbit is. It seems like. Let's see here. I hate that yo-yo's in there as well as that crystal, but I think this is a beatable team. Alright, let's see if we can kill Yo-Yo as fast as possible. I love my Heimdall, man. It's one of my, okay, cool. I love my Heimdall, man. How'd you break your speakers, man? That's not a headphone. I understand how you break the headphones. Anyway, it's not important. It's not important. What was I saying? I've lost my train of thought. There's the dead Yo-Yo. God, I love my Heimdall. That's what I was saying. You know, a lot of people, their Heimdall is sort of kind of one of the, just, you know, one of the spots on their Asgard that's just kind of phoning it in. You know, it's really not doing most of the damage. It's not really adding a whole lot of other utility. But, yeah, it's one of my 7 red stars, man. And, you know, his job is damage. He dishes out some damage. He does okay. All right, my AIM team. This team's fun to play. Speakers have wires. What? Do you just set your computers up on the floor or something, dude? You're always stepping on computer stuff. You should maybe consider this recent technological advancement known as a desk, right? They got these things called desks that, I mean, they really work. They really work. I want to do a video on this desk that I have here that I bought, but you know, you guys probably, you can't see it all from your vantage point. But I bought like this big ass 72-inch motorized desk, you know. And if you've been watching the stream since I started it up a few days ago, you're probably aware that it's motorized. It's pretty cool actually, because like now I've been sitting for 2 hours about, you know. And I'm starting to feel the blood clots forming in my ass, working their way up to my heart. So I'm about to kick this thing up and stand up for a little while to finish this off. So first, I'm going to figure out which team I want to attack here, and I think it's going to be this one. It's going to be this one. So anyway, let me send you off. There we go. And the motors keep going. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'll come up here with you. And we're going to need to adjust the monitor just a little bit. I kind of have it tilted down when I'm playing sitting. So we're going to want to tilt it up just a little bit more because I'm not a super tall guy, but I am 6 foot even. And, you know, I don't want the desk quite that high. You know, I don't want to be up here, you know, doing that. So I keep it at about 45 inches off the ground, right? It's just above my waist level. Seems perfect. Seems perfect. I'm gonna clear this chair out of here. We don't need that. We don't need that. And here we go. Okay, now I got a little room to move. See what I mean? We're standing. I got the blood flowing, right? It's pretty nice, actually. I was always skeptical of standing desks, right? And I don't think I ever would buy a dedicated standing desk. Like, screw that. Like, I don't want to stand all. I spend a lot of time at the computer, right? Like, I'm a serious PC gamer. I don't want to be standing the whole time. But I have to admit that buying this desk and the convenience of going up and down like that, it really has helped me. Like, I get to spend a half an hour standing or so for every hour that I'm sitting. And not only is it healthier, but I kind of feel better, right? Like, I don't feel as stiff or sore from sitting for long periods of time, anything like that. I gotta admit, I like it. And like I say, I'll show it off. Like, when I get the tower done and set in, I'll do that's one of the short form contents I'll do a nice little walk around of the office, and I'm gonna work on it over time. And I can guarantee, like, I have no desire to profit from this. And any monetization or any kind of donations that might arise from this stream one day, and I'm certainly not soliciting them, but I will probably roll them back into equipment and just like character pieces to put in here. Like get some colored RGB backlights over here on the wall. Get some of those cool like foam sound damping pieces that you put up on the wall. Pretty cool looking shit. I would like a setup much like Valley's, is kind of what I'm saying. Let's see here. Let's see if we can knock Danvers out of the fight real quick. I'm glad she hit Ben and not Johnny. That gives us a better chance. Because they both do great damage, but Johnny's so squishy, man. If they go after him first, game over, man. Game over. Because, this is a team with no taunt, right? So Johnny's just kind of drifting out there in the wind, if you know what I mean. So let's see here. We'll use the ultimate on her and save the big hitter for somebody else. I think I'd like to probably move Spider-Man on next after that. Good assist. All right. We'll hit them both. I do think I want to kill Deadpool first. They're both likely to res on me, but yeah. No, I got lucky on that. Well, he'd get lucky to res, really. I don't think that their resurrection chance is that high, but still. They're both difficult characters to kill. Sorta. So yeah, I mean, stuff for the room, stuff for the ambiance on the stream. Maybe put some money into overlays, things to jazz up the screen here. If I ever get to a point where I am taking donations, something that'll pop up on the screen. You've seen the big streams, you know what it looks like. So we'll get to that point. I'm not necessarily trying to immediately go out and buy all that shit to legitimize myself. I'm just going to do this for fun. We'll see how it grows. We're going to grow the stream. We're going to grow the beard. And I don't know how the stream will turn out, but I promise you the fucking beard will be fantastic. And, we'll go from there. And if we go, if it turns out wildly successful, then yeah, I'll roll that money back into shit here and, make things look better. I might even get a collection. I've already got a small collection of movie posters, and I'll do something clever like hang a new one up there for every stream, and keep people guessing on what it's going to be. That way I can express myself through my love of cinema. Maybe I should get a collection of Marvel movie posters. I don't know. That would be kind of cool. That'd be thematic, right? I don't know. Yeah, I think this one, the one with Rumlow, is probably the weakest. Now I'm thinking about Twerk tripping over his speaker wires. I was telling him yesterday about all the damn headphones you broke in your time. When you said that you had gotten a new computer for work, I'll be honest, my first thought was that I should buy you a headphone rack. It's like a little thing you affix to your desk that you can hang your headphones on. I really thought about buying you one of those as a gift. You weren't here yesterday. Twerpy has got a lifelong habit of, like, when he gets up to go to get a drink or go to the bathroom or whatever, he takes his headphones off and he just lays them down on the floor next to his chair, and then he ends up rolling over them. And I hate to think about how much money he spent on headphones over the years. Oh, yeah. Okay, so maybe a headphone hanging rack would not have helped you in this particular instance, but still, you gotta admit it'd probably be a handy thing for you to have, right? You wouldn't have to lay it on the floor no more. I'm just saying. You don't have the desk space. Then we'll install some hardware where you do. If I gotta fly to Sacramento and install it myself. I don't know when that'll be because I'm not getting on no fucking airplane right now, but still. The key is to just accept that it's going to happen and buy cheap headphones. I don't know, man. I think if you went out there and you dropped $200 on like some Turtle Bay headphones or something nice like that, I bet it would motivate your ass to not break them fucking things anymore. I bet it would. Just a theory. I don't know. We'll probably never get to test it. I don't know. Maybe I'll send you some for Christmas, but that wouldn't really have the same effect, would it? Because you wouldn't have any skin in the game and you wouldn't be motivated. All right. New power armor configuration is pretty dope. No, Elsa. Stop it with all that DPS. That ain't doing enough damage. That ain't gonna cut it. All right. So now we start the pain train. Hey, look at y'all living through that. And you're done. Poor Iron Man didn't even get to blow his load. Never got to expend his ammo. I don't think he has ammo, right? It's just an energy charge, right? Whatever. He does have the little missiles. I guess he's in Iron Man 2. So I guess that, but I never saw him use that again. Oh, that was Iron Man 1 actually. And I never saw him use that again after that. So I'm not sure he even has that anymore. Now he's all on the nanobot train, right? So that was some cool shit that they were showing off in the most recent movies. Heimdall reminds you of a Chosen. Honest to God, I use the Crossbones profile pic because that face, with the mask and everything, that reminds me more of a Chosen than anything, right? That's sort of why I went with that profile. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get what you're saying. I had some Chosen that had the big ass Viking horns and shit like that, But mostly, just like a white helmet was kind of my thing back then. And so Rumlow's always reminded me of it. Not so much in the movie, but in the game, looking at that profile picture, I was like, man, that kind of looks like back of old, so that's what I'm going with. And I've swapped around. I haven't always been Crossbones as a profile, but it's sort of gotten to be my shtick now, so I'm just sticking with it. But those of you in Mortytown probably remember I was like right after I got Red Skull. I was Red Skull for a long time. I think I rolled with Phil Coulson for a couple months at least. Love Phil Coulson. I'm way more attached to that character than I am to Crossbones. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Rumlow, and he is a part of my favorite scene in the MCU, which is the fight between Hydra and Captain America in the elevator in S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters during Captain America: The Winter Soldier. And that elevator scene to me, that's probably it's one of the best things they've done in a series of good movies. That's probably my favorite scene, at least as far as fight scenes, right? Let's see here. Yeah, we'll start that off. Just auto roll on Storm. That'll probably be more than enough. Heimdall reminds you of a Chosen, I imagine, because I was always a two-handed sword Chosen, and you were always running around with me. That'd be my guess. That'd be my guess. If I just had to, you know. Anyway, be right back. So I tell you another piece of hardware I picked up for the first time that, you know, I'll show off in the upcoming video is I forget what it's called now. It's a mouse pad that's, you know, like really long. Like it's big enough to put the keyboard on and the mouse, and then I have like the mic in the middle. I got a pretty, you know, it's not like the top end or nothing, but it's a Samson G-Track Pro, and I'm still kind of learning the settings on it. I hope a lot of the reverb has been kicked down off of the original streams. And you know, my first ever ultra wide monitor. I kind of splurged. I kind of became a Amazon shopping addict over the quarantine period. I think like 6 weeks I was out of work, and I was like, screw it, I'm buying a computer, I'm gonna build my own, and I'm buying all this new office stuff, I'm gonna get ready to stream, you know. And I bought all this stuff, and the truth be told, like by the time most of it arrived, I was back at work, right? So my timing was off on that. Oh, we gotta fight Chachi. Look at Chachi. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, man, that was also one of my. I love that scene where Thanos and the way Iron Man quipped later, like, "You throw another moon at me." Like, I fucking really love that. I enjoyed that. In fact, the notion that an empowered Thanos would be able to do that. I mean, like, I hadn't seen the animation yet, but that alone was what got me excited about getting myself a Black Order team. Was like, I want to throw moons on people. Like, I want to throw moons on people. And now it turns out it's not that exciting. And half the fights that I'm in with those guys, they either kill everybody before he gets to that point, or like that's the end point when he does that. And the animation is not as epic as it. I'm not saying it's a bad animation, but the animation is not as epic as I had envisioned and as it could have been. You know, but he's throwing a lot of rocks from above on people, right? Like, and he's doing a lot of damage. This is a good ability, right? I got no complaints on that regard. Just wasn't as epic as I hoped, but still, no, man. I love Captain America, and that elevator scene was wicked awesome, and it had Crossbones in it, although, you know, at that point, most people, you know, most people never even recognize the character from previous films. And certainly anybody who was not like familiar with the character in the comics did not know that he was going to be Crossbones, because he wasn't quite, he didn't, you know, he donned the suit, I believe, in like a movie or two later in Civil War. All right, so that is a full rotation. There we go. Got all the milestones. That's as far as I'm going, right? I don't even need Punisher shards. So I'm going to take a quick break and freshen up my drink. Maybe I don't know. And then we got one more arena match to do. And outside of that, I'm pretty much done, I think. I'm going to knock it off and try to do some stream stuff and then go to bed. But yeah, if anybody wants to PvP, I'll be open to that. It'd be fun to do it on the stream. So let me grab a Dr. Pepper. I'll be right back. Getting a little parched. Glad to see Verta get Phoenix. That's awesome. That's awesome. I really didn't even know he was putting that much time into Verta here lately. You know, because now he's doing Violeta and still doing Annie. So I don't know, man. That guy's a trooper. That guy's a trooper. Basically, we had like 3 people request to take over the Red Tie account, and Animagus is just the one that I mean, both myself and Red Tie were most comfortable with. He'd already taken one account from us, the account that was lower than his main account, and played it a while, and really has been caretaking it for us, and that was very helpful. And he didn't have to do that, right? I mean, that was a step back for him. So we thought we'd reward him with for that service. We would reward him with an account that's a step up for him. It's actually a pretty significant step up for him, and you know, he deserves it, man. I mean, just flat out. So we're gonna try to take one of those accounts off of him and lessen that workload, I guess is the way to put it. But that guy's something else. He's an Auburn fan, so I mean, you know. But outside of that, where? Any suggestions on which of these characters really deserves some T4 love? I've pretty much jacked all of the arena characters. I mean, I could keep jacking on Maw here, and that speed bar would be nice. Speed bar is always nice. That's, you know, a little more damage. I barely ever use that ability, so I don't see me really wanting to put points into that. Honestly, might want to put it into Thanos. We did just pull 6 red stars on him, right? He deserves a little pimping. That's actually not bad. Speed bar is always a plus. We could jack up our moon throwing ability. I do like throwing moons. But like I say, usually when we get to this point, it's already kind of a lock at that point. But that would be a lot more attacks. That would probably, I haven't been super impressed by the damage on them. That would probably help a lot. But let's see if we got a better option here. Typically, I look to buy T4s that do a little more than just give more damage, right? Okay, so the only real... it does all negative effects, all positives to negatives, and it 2 turns of taunt instead of 1. That's not huge. That's not huge. He does melee. I mean, he does basic a lot. Always gain counter. That's not terrible. But he's got an 80% chance to gain counter already. So that's not the huge thing. I think of these 4, I do believe, yeah, that this passive is probably the most desirable. 10% speed bar. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy that. And then we'll punt back here, and let's see. That's gonna take him to 99K and move him on up the roster. That was a pretty good little jump. Resistance, I'm not as worried about. So I'm gonna hold off on that, and we'll save up and plan to buy this Force Transfusion just for the speed bar wonkery. That's pretty good. Like, we gain speed, they lose speed. Like, that's even better than the heal, practically. So, yeah, okay. Unless we spot something better, that's the plan for the next T4. So that's going to make our Black Order team look like so. You know, minus Thanos, obviously. Why he didn't get a Black Order tag? I mean, I guess technically, you know, the Black Order are the children of Thanos, and so Thanos is not in the Black Order. But man, it would have really been handy to put him on that tag so I get this whole freaking team in here, right? Wouldn't that have been nice? Wouldn't that have made sense? All right. So. Yeah, the only thing I regret on building this team is that I only pulled 4 red stars on Ebony Maw. I am freaking aghast by it. I pulled 5 on Proxima Midnight and barely opened any orbs at all for her. I pulled 7 on Corvus and really didn't open, but like just a respectable number. I didn't pull open Mini on call. I basically got called to 4 and I stopped, and that didn't take very long. But I like for the as I mentioned before, I like for the tank to sort of be at the bottom end of the power scale on the team. It's just a bit. It works a bit better that way, because all he's really got to do is just hold attention and not die for a couple turns, and so you know. So yeah, the one thing I regret is that I saved up in excess of 200 red star orbs, as well as having 7 elite 4s saved up. And the best I pulled was 4 red stars on that fucker. That was probably my worst day of luck ever. I've in general had good luck on red stars, but I did not on Ebony Maw. And since he's a controller, I didn't sweat it as much because generally, you know, controller, I'd rather have more red stars than I would a tank. But I really mostly just focus on high red stars on DPS, and I thought 7 red stars on Glaive would just be, you know, fantastic. And sure, he's great. He's great. A little squishy for my taste, but still, he's great. He's a paper tiger, really. You know, he can't take a hit as well as I'd like, but he's got the stealth going for him. He's actually a pretty handy character in versus battle. If you can bring, if a player will allow you to bring both Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive into a versus battle, then they can really wreak some havoc. They're really helpful, and people kind of overlook them still, even after the Black Order's out. But yeah, I don't know, man. I would have loved to have gotten 5 or 6 red on that Ebony Maw, and I will gladly put my upgrade tokens or whatever the fuck they're calling them now. I will gladly spend my whatevers to raise them to 5 and 6. That's the plan. That's the plan. So yeah, what was it? He ended up, you know, so Thanos goes right in here. He ended up with like 99K, right? Oh yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's up there playing with the 7 red stars. Better than a lot of them. Looking good. Really, the stars of my roster, as you can see, are by and large 6 red star characters. I've had good luck on getting 7 red star characters, but on the whole, the characters that I've pulled 7 red stars on have generally been, you know, low to mid range characters. You know, minions like, you know, Kree Noble and you know, of course, I can't complain about my 2 AIM minions. Those guys are great. That's a rocking team, but. I mean, I'd rather have a 7 red star Black Bolt. You know, I am not that lucky. So let's find an arena match, and then unless somebody has something else to occupy my attention, I'm gonna call it a day after that. Man, come on, what's all the orbs? Nah, they're lying to me. Why not? That's like 7, 8 times this playthrough I've done that. Alright, so we're going to Arena. We're in number 4 slot. Looks like Lucky came back afterwards and took out Unclouded. That's hilarious. So I'm going to hit Unclouded because he's way easier to take out than Lucky. There was a time that Lucky had a real hard time taking me, but, or at least, you know, so I've heard from other people in the in the Arena Shard, but a lot of these guys that are now competing with me in the top 10, it's like they clued in. I was using a BB Yo-Yo team, pretty similar to the one I'm using now, and they kind of clued in on that. And so I started seeing all of them really jack Yo-Yo. You know, you could tell they reshifted their focus off of whatever they were doing and started jacking Yo-Yo and Black Bolt. And then I started seeing a lot of comparable teams show up, and they would have characters that I wouldn't use. You know, like a Magneto or Cyclops or somebody like that. But still, you know, they came in and they competed, and they had teams. You know, it took them a while. It was a long time there, man. That I'd be sitting at number 1 for days and nobody'd even attack me. But now they're at the point, man, where they've caught up. They can compete. I was really hoping that Black Order would kind of give me another boost back up to that kind of stratosphere, but it just didn't happen. So yeah, we're all pretty competitive in this Arena Shard now, and you know, basically the only way to win is to log in at the appropriate moment and snipe. Phoenix Rising. See, she got ability blocked, but it's not really going to end up being that critical. But a lot of this comes down to who does Corvus hit. And how many people survived that? Man, it looks like I came out of that one pretty good. So we're summoning some fresh robots. Right, we'll try to throw some more deeps in on, well, we lost our clone, and we're really in danger of losing our Yo-Yo. Let's get a little heal up on her. That did not do enough. Alright, so, oh, thank God Yo-Yo survived that. This is where things start falling apart for them, because like every time that kills Corvus, and the others end up almost dead. And they're there, boom, boom, you know? Like, it's just, you know, Black Bolt greater than Black Order. It's just the way it is. I really don't think those knuckleheads at Fox Next have a freaking clue how to play their own game. Casino always jokes about he doesn't work for Fox Next. They should fucking hire him. They should fucking hire him. They should hire him. They should let him work from home. He should be able to call in twice a week and have a fucking meeting with the money guys and set their ass straight, to be quite honest. Because, you know, we can all look at the fucking reports. They're making enough money. You know, there's no need for misleading people. There's no need for predatory tactics. And I know that's not what they want to do, but I also know that those developers that build this game and love it, they have money people behind them that are pushing them to do exactly that. And that's an aspect that I know, you know, Casino, now these Envoy guys, they can't really talk about that, but I'm just doing a stream here for fun. I'm not monetized, I'm not affiliated. I could give a shit, right? So that's just what I see. 2 years of playing this game and just sort of objectively watching what goes on. And that's pretty much it. It's like every other corporation I've ever seen in my life. It's good individuals inside of an organization that does shitty things, and that absolves those good individuals of any responsibility. And that goes all the way down to shareholders, right? There are plenty of us that have stock and are invested in corporations that do horrible things around the world. But it's a pretty classic quote by the economist Adam Smith that you know, the corporation is an ingenious device to obtain personal profit without without the burden of personal responsibility, something to that effect. And then, man, that is incisive and cutting insight into reality, man. That guy, even all the way back then, it's like he was looking into the future, because we are living in the embodiment of that right now. So anyway, okay, I'm sitting at number 2. That's exactly where I wanted to be. I have done all the good I can do for the Locos. There's nothing else. I don't think I have enough energy to do anymore. You know what? I could do one more attack in each. That'll save us some time in the morning, so I'll knock that out. I like to go ahead and heal up Ultron. Like rather him come in topped off, obviously. All right, here we go. Start with Sentry. Good time to go knock out another arena fight on Bax. Get his second one of the day in, and then I'll truly be done. Let's see here. Screw her. She's easy. Should be hitting Daredevil. Oh well. Hit Venom. Yeah, I mean, the first time I saw Infinity War, and he pulled that moon down, like, who saw that coming, right? That was a pretty good cinematic moment. That was pretty exciting. I mean, it's not like Cap grabbing the hammer exciting, but it was nice. It was really cool. Black Bolt, man. Black Bolt. Take a bow, BB. Now there is a TV character casting that they're probably never going to recreate. I went to high school with the guy that played Black Bolt in that television show for Marvel TV, Inhumans, and I mean, I'm a fan of his, right? Like, I mean, I knew the guy growing up, and I can tell you, it's not my favorite thing he ever did, not by far. It's not my second favorite thing he ever did, right? Not by far. And I haven't even seen. He was Captain Pike in Star Trek, right? And I kind of told him that I was watching it, but I have not been. I don't even have CBS All Access. I haven't wanted to pick up another fucking streaming service. But now that they've got Picard and shows like that, I might end up going ahead and picking it up. So let's see here. No, that's going to be it over here on Ultima 7. So we can put in one more bit of work and take out this boss over here on the Greek raid. I always knew that kid was destined for good things. And I heard that he's getting his own show. Like, they're going to bring him back as Captain Pike. And, which I didn't see the first performance, grant you. So I need to watch it. I can't tell you how good it was. But he was fantastic in Hell on Wheels. And I've enjoyed him in some other things I've seen him in since. But, and I really didn't think he was that bad. I didn't think he was that bad in Humans. But the sign language was terrible, man. The plots were not great. they weren't great scripts either, but that's not on him. Like, he barely talks, right? And he's Black Bolt, right? So I mean, they kind of, I guess, hired him to just be a pretty face, right? Because there's no doubt he has a symmetrical, good jawline, all that shit, right? He didn't really look like that as much when we were younger, but still, he doesn't get to talk in it, so he's trying mostly with facial expressions. And I feel like he did a pretty good job with that, but they got him doing this like fake, like made up sign language, and it's pretty terrible, and it occupies way too much screen time, right? Like, where they're in the middle of the thing and they're talking about something that's only barely holding your attention in the first fucking place, and then they stop the action while he goes, and they're just doing shit like he's like almost looks. It just looks like he's making it up, right? And who is the best Star Trek captain, man? 100% that's fucking Sir Patrick Stewart, man. I mean, I'm not old enough to have been an original guy, right? Like, I watched them in syndication growing up, right? But I went around in the fucking 60s. I was born in the mid 70s, and I really only remember the early 80s on, right? If I'm being honest. So, man. I mean, I appreciate the Kirk/Spock era, but for me, it's all about TNG, man. It's all about TNG, 100%. Don't get me wrong, man. I watched everything after, right? Well, except up to the Discovery stuff, right? Everything pre-Discovery, I've seen all that. I've seen it multiple times, right? Watched all of Deep Space Nine. I enjoyed the shit out of Voyager, right? Cisco's high on my list, right? I mean, he had the delivery and he had the baseball. I always enjoyed DS9 anyway, but Cisco I thought was pretty cool captain. Although I don't even know if he was. Now that I'm thinking about it, he may not have technically been a captain. He might have been commander. Now that I think about it, he was Commander Cisco, if I believe correctly. He didn't have a starship. He had a space station, which I don't know what's the difference, right? But but yeah. Janeway was cool, right? I liked Janeway. I did like Archer a lot, right? I mean, I was a Scott Bakula fan growing up, right? I grew up on his shit. So I liked that show better than a lot of people did. The Enterprise show. I mean, part of it was T'Pol was hot as shit, but I really my favorite forget captains. My favorite engineer. Is a dead heat race, right? Like, everybody loves O'Brien, right? O'Brien was probably the most noteworthy engineer from the show outside of Scotty. Everybody knows Scotty, right? There's all the taglines from Scotty, and she can't take any more, Captain. And I used to actually do a Scotty impersonation growing up. But I really grew to appreciate Miles O'Brien more, and of course, Miles had a longer Star Trek journey, or at least a comparably long Star Trek journey to Scotty, because he was a pivotal character during Next Generation, and then he moved on to DS9. So he was there through several iterations of the show, and I always liked the guy, man, and he had some pretty great character arcs at various points. So I always liked him. But I tell you, the one character that really gave me that really spoke to me was, honest to God, was Trip. I don't know if anybody remembers Trip, but Trip was the engineer on the Captain Archer version Enterprise, and Trip was this fucking. And it should be obvious why I really liked this character. Trip was this kind of down to earth Southern boy from Florida. And so that was Trip was the closest to representation of my people. Star Trek's always been a great show about representing all races and creeds, and it's a story about a utopian future where all of Earth comes together in peace and starts exploring the galaxy together, right? And so of course that racial integration is a big part of that. But I never saw no Southerners. I never did see a Jim Bob or a Cletus, right? And so then they brought along Trip, and he added a little Southern flair to the show that I appreciated. I really enjoyed. And he was just a good character overall. And you know, he had that whole secret love affair with the hot Vulcan, right? I mean, who doesn't love that, right? Come on. Anyway, you know, I like chicks that are devoid of emotion. So anyway, yeah, that's the gist of it. All right, so I'm gonna spend just a few more energy. So anyway, all right, good. That's about all the damage I'm going to do tonight. So unless there are any further questions, comments, critiques, concerns, go fuck yourself, whatever. I don't care. You know, shoot it back at me. And I'll be glad to address it as best I may. Or ignore it. We'll see how it goes. You know, anything Torpy has to say, I'm probably going to ignore. And let me know this is another Star Trek question, because I dig that. But, yeah, outside of a PvP match, if anybody's game, we're probably going to wrap up Mortytown TV here. And, you know, we'll be back tomorrow. So, let me, one sec. All right. So, yeah, I like Trip. And my favorite captains is 100% Picard. I need to watch the new Picard show for sure. And that way I can catch up on Ants and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, it's almost midnight here, and I do have a few administrative things to do and you know, video editing and shit like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. That'll be the conclusion for Mortytown TV tonight. I appreciate all of you who have been riding along with me. This has been a 3-hour stream, and I've had a, you know, there's been at least a few of you in here at all times, so I do appreciate that. Throw me a like if you liked what you saw, or you know, even if you just didn't hate it, I don't care, whatever, you know, it helps out. And comments do too, I hear, for the algorithm, but you know, mostly just, you know, if you can find the time to hit a like and, you know, maybe subscribe, I really appreciate it. We're gonna try to grow, but you know, it'll be a long, slow burn. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we can make some videos that'll kind of hit and give us a jump, but you know, we'll see. So that'll conclude Mortytown TV for the evening. I appreciate you all for riding along once again. Keep gaming and have a good evening. See you tomorrow.